they had contacted me, so there was like that. I was one of the people that could have potentially been on that show,
Okay.
but I told
That
them
is awesome. What happened?
if you don't get Sywo on here, I won't. And they're like, we don't want
Ah,
people from
off.
Estonia. Sywo, thank you
Hi.
so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know you're a busy man. I really, really appreciate you coming onto my podcast show, brand new show, episode number 3. And we've got the godfather of Lost Ark with us today. Sywo, this man needs no introduction, but I'm going to let you introduce yourself anyways. Sywo, thank you and welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate it. Why am I, first of all, why am I on episode number 3? Who was here on episode number 1? This is what I want to know.
So Steves was here on episode 1, and him and I are dating. So
Ah,
he
okay.
got the one.
Yeah,
He got the
right.
number 1. Yep. And then Savix got number 2 because him and I are actually the same person. So
Right.
yeah. So you're
Okay, so
really
you
number
guys,
one.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You guys have some Twitch thing going on. I don't want to barge into that. Anyway, it's lovely to as I was saying, it's lovely to finally get to read some live chat. I absolutely love reading live chat. However, I don't really stream because yeah, it's complicated relationship. But it's so cool to see people talking and to actually just get to talk to people. What I would do personally is just talk to people right now for the next 2 hours.
Yeah.
Um, but
Absolutely.
yeah,
Well, you know what? To be honest, that's what it's going to kind of be like. So the concept that we have on this show,
nice.
it's not really. We were going to talk about Lost Ark, right? We will. We definitely will. But we're not going to be sitting in. It's not going to be, hey, did you hear about the new update? What are your thoughts? I mean, we'll talk about that a little bit. But the purpose of this podcast is for me and you to have a conversation, get to know each other, and I'd love to hear your story. Love to hear about you as a person, and just maybe some of the stuff that you don't usually share, because it's not like you're going to go on stream or a YouTube channel and be like, here's what's going on in my life kind of stuff. You know what I mean? But more
Yeah.
importantly, I'd love to get to talk to you and get to know you, Sywo. Like, Sywo and I, we've spoken in the past just through some DMs and, maybe a call or two, but we really haven't actually spoken and just kind of sat down and chilled and got to know each other, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm really excited to hear your story and get to know you and just have some free chat with you, man.
Yeah, awesome. Let's do that. Let's talk to the people also if they have any questions. Awesome.
Yeah.
Good idea. Good stuff. Good stuff. I mean, listen, uh, you're like about 10 times better a host for this podcast than I was. It's really nice to actually listen to your interviews. Very nice to listen to your podcasts. I liked your interviews in the past, by the way. Super cool ideas, right? With like pro people from Korea in terms of PvP content. The
Thank
Russian
you.
episode also with Lofi and Blinks was just off the roof. I mean, for me, a player who has been here for a while, I'm not necessarily interested anymore in the like the general stuff, how to make
Mm,
gold and stuff like that. But like watching you talk to these other players who were really high up or have achieved something interesting in this game, this is of very big interest. So it was very nice. Of course, it's always nice to listen and also look at Lofi, but Blinks was super cool to have there also. Very nice. So good job, by the way, to you two for doing this. I always wanted you to, let's say, when you first came on the scene, of course, everyone comes on the scene, a couple of catchy titles, the heartbreaking state of Lost Ark, that gives you, a couple of zeros. It's all good. We all get it. And then you started with the interviews, and I always wanted you to do like more of these like cool interviews, podcasts, because you're a really, really cool host. So, yeah,
yeah.
very nice.
Well, thank you. I mean, I shit, man, I appreciate that, and I think it's really cool to hear that perspective from you because, like I said, I mean, I'm joking, but I'm at the same time I'm not when I'm saying, you're really like the godfather here of Lost Ark. First and foremost, like you were definitely and still are definitely the guy that is kind of like the centerpiece to the content creators. You got guys like Saint and these guys that have been really, like the main pillars of the Lost Ark community since day one. And now we've got more guys that are entering the scene. Like I came in after you guys, and then Stoops came in shortly after, and all that stuff. And it's really cool to hear the perspective from you, who's kind of been there day one. Were you day one? Were you the guy day one, or who's around back then when you're getting into Lost Ark content?
Oh, what a lovely time. So many good memories I actually have from that time. The thing is, just to start from the beginning, I actually started playing Lost Ark on November 29th, I think it was.
Okay.
This was, I believe, two days after the original release, or was it 1st of December? Something like that, a few days after the initial release of the game. And by that time, for example, Saint Own, he was already playing since the beta, since April. The oldest Saint Own stream, Lost Ark related, was the same year, 2018, but just a few months before in April, when they had a closed beta. So he was there, and then when I started playing the game, when I start playing a game, generally I don't really watch guides because or
Mm.
other people talking about the game, because I don't really want to have my opinion tainted by
Mm.
by their perspectives,
Sure.
right? So, and I didn't even want to try Lost Ark, to be fair with you. I was playing Aion. I was, let's say, decently happy in Aion at that time, but
Mm-hmm.
there was this one guy in my YouTube comments who always constantly kept telling me, "Did you try Lost Ark? Are you gonna try Lost Ark?"
Really?
And then, yeah, that's how I got into the
That's
game, and
crazy.
it was just a guy, right?
Just a
Like
random
it's
guy, some
yeah,
random unspoken hero on YouTube
yeah,
was literal, and that led to
yeah.
everything.
That's true.
Wow.
Yeah. So this guy started bugging me about Lost Ark,
Hmm.
sort of in the summer. I think in June. I because later on I started to look for his comments, right, about Lost Ark, and I found that the earliest comment on my channel on all of my videos about Lost Ark was June 2018. He himself, he was saying, "Hey, did you see Lost Ark's trailer?" And I didn't even answer to that thing because I'm also not necessarily that interested in these top-down MMOs.
Sure.
And I looked at the trailer when he gave it to me, but in my head I was thinking, do we swear on your show or we don't?
Oh,
Anyway,
you
let's
can, you
not.
can, you can. This is an adult stream. Absolutely. I swear all the time. To be honest, even in my YouTube videos, that's like one of the biggest negative criticisms that I get was like you've got a bad mouth, and I'm just like, fuck you, man. This is my channel. This is my concept.
Of course, yeah, sure. I was just, yeah, I just wanted to,
Yeah, yeah.
because at that time I was thinking to myself, like, fuck it, this game, like, it's not a game that I want to play because it's sort of a Diablo game. There was this
Mm.
trailer where I saw a destroyer and a berserker, and I think one of them, either a destroyer or a berserker, was on a bridge fighting some. Oh no, it was a gun lancer, I think, fighting some mobs, and to me that looked exactly like a Diablo game. And I'm not into Diablo games. I'm into MMOs, right, like
Mm.
general MMORPGs. Um, and I thought I'm not trying this game. I'm gonna ignore this guy with his Lost Ark thing. But he kept pursuing, like every other video he asked me about Lost Ark. Eventually, I actually forced myself to try Lost Ark. I followed um, a couple of steps from a written guide that was on some sort of a spreadsheet which I randomly found on Google. I had prior experience to trying games in Korea because I played Aion for very many years, and I've played it very often on the Korean servers to try out things that were about to come for us. Because we were very interested in Aion, in this world progression and being like the first people to clear that PvE content
Mm.
and stuff, even though it was a PvP game. So completely
Yeah.
disingenuous, right? Yeah. And then I had a lot of experience with trying games in Korea. I think I tried other games in Korea as well, like Bless Online. Even
Hmm.
before I tried Aion, I tried Bless Online. I played quite extensively Bless Online in Korea.
Really?
I have videos about it. Yeah,
Okay.
I was even streaming. I have another channel. It's called Sywo Streams. I created this channel I think in 2015 because or 16 because I was playing Bless Online, so I thought I would stream on some other. Anyway, it's just
Okay.
stupid stuff. So I have a lot of experience playing games in Korea. For me, it's not a problem at all to get around to downloading them or stuff. So it was very easy for me to get Lost Ark. I got into the game, and it was just like a matter of. Um, I'm gonna be fair with you, okay? Let's be completely transparent. At first,
Love it.
after I tried Lost Ark for a
Yeah.
few hours, I thought this is not a game for me. However, since I already paid money for the
Mm.
VPN and I already went through the trouble of getting the game, I'm gonna make a couple of, I was thinking back then some hype videos that are gonna get me some views, trying other MMOs, branching out as a content creator.
Yeah.
Because I was quite small back then. I was
Hmm.
like at I think it was 9,000 subscribers or
Okay.
something similar. And I thought, let's do this. A couple of hype videos, and then I'm done with this shit,
Mm.
right? I didn't like the controls. I got to level 10 on back then level 10 you actually had to play it. There was no way to skip the level
Mm.
1 to 10. And each profession, like the gunners or the martial artists, had their own zone where you started off. It was a very interesting and amazing experience in general. But just the game not for me, the controls not for me. You cannot use WASD. It was just a weird experience. Even auto attacking, like just left clicking a target, was a challenge in the first couple of hours. Anyway, so I made a couple of videos, but then while making these videos, I kept playing the game, right? Because for some reason, I just couldn't stop playing. I just wanted to see what's next, what's
Mm.
more about this class. So yeah, then days passed like this, and I got to like level 20. When I got to level 20, I entered this this first big story dungeon. There's a wallpaper with it also. How is it called? Fuck, I forgot. Um,
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I can't think of the name off the top of my head. Yeah,
Morai, Morai.
Morai ruin.
Yeah,
Yep, 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 yep. Yeah.
yeah. So
Thank you, Luffy.
Morai's ruins.
Hmm.
Yeah, is this the actual Luffy? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, so
that's yeah,
lovely.
yeah. She's wrong though. She said Marasi, so but she corrected herself.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Morai.
lovely Luffy
Yeah.
in the chat.
Yeah.
Um,
Awesome. So,
mhm.
so I entered Morai, and this was at level 20. It was like I think 5 or 6 days. I took it really slow. I created another character in the meantime, and you actually had to play through levels 1 and 10, as I said. So that kind of took you like maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours in total, I guess. Um, so when I entered Morai, I was thinking to myself, this is an amazing game. Like the way it's made, the quality that they put into it, the way skills work, the way
Mm,
mobs look, and the whole feel of the game is just an amazingly polished game. This is something that's worth your time
mm.
because it's such a good product. It's just like a very well made car in that sense with quality materials and stuff. So super cool. I decided to continue playing, and then weeks passed, months, years, and here we are 3.5 years later today.
Wow. So I want to actually that's a hell of a story. I want to go back and touch on the fact that you said you played Ion and Bless. So let's start with Ion because I played a little bit of Ion a little bit. I played a little bit of Ion myself, and fun game. Um, recently Ion came out with that classic Ion that was released very recently. I think in the last definitely in the last year. I can't remember how many months ago it was, maybe 6 months ago. Did you play that? I mean, because that was well after you've been playing, Lost Ark. Did you dive into that a little bit or no?
Yeah. I did play Aeon Classic. I actually played Aeon Classic on the Korean servers as well.
Oh, okay,
um,
yeah, and that did really
yeah, I
well
know.
in Korea for a while.
It was for a very short while, and it did really well. So Aeon, when I started Aeon, it was 2009.
Yep.
And Aeon was a really hype game.
Mm.
So after, especially in Korea, just like Lost Ark, when Aeon started in Korea in 2007, I believe, or was it 2008? Anyway, a year or two before our release,
Hmm.
they were having at that time around 300,000 concurrent users, same as Lost Ark, right? Like an immensely popular success title there. Of course, in time, it dropped by a bit. It actually didn't drop by so much as Lost Ark dropped in its first year, that
Hmm.
they had to revamp the game completely with season two. I'm talking about Lost Ark now. So
Lost
Aeon
Ark
did
KR.
really
Yeah, yeah,
Lost Ark, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yes. So Lost Ark, sorry, Aeon did really well in Korea as it released for very many years afterwards, because the way they released it initially was just an amazing way. And then I started our version in 2009. This was um, we started 2009 October, and I started 2009 December. So a couple of months afterwards, because I was playing another game before that. Um, and it was a fantastic experience, by the way, for me to play Aeon during those times when
Hmm.
Aeon was here in the West, the second most popular MMORPG after World of Warcraft. So it was really good for those times. It was such a such an eye-opening and life-changing experience, because quite frankly, in Aeon I also met my wife that I'm currently married to.
Wow.
We've been married for
Oh my gosh.
in Aeon,
Really?
in the game.
We're going to have a
Yeah.
conversation about dating and, dating girls at game and stuff, because this has been something that I talk to my chat about all the time, by the way. But that's so you met your current wife in Aya. Does she still game? Does she still play games right now, or is she playing Lost Ark
Yeah,
with you?
yeah. She's playing Rostark, yeah, right now, yeah.
Okay.
She's playing Bard, yeah.
Okay.
So
All right.
yeah, she started a bit earlier than myself, and coincidence makes it that we met in front of a rift. Back then, there were rifts in Aeon,
Yep.
which you could use to travel to the other factions' land and PvP there. And we were both really big when we started Aeon. We were both really big in PvPing. So
Were you
we
guys
just met in
both
front of
like
a
were you guys both like geared to
yeah.
the teeth?
No, actually, these rifts were for lower level characters.
Okay.
But
Okay.
at that time, the highest level, when we met, the highest level was barely hitting 50, which was the level cap, because it
Gotcha.
was a really grindy game. It
Right.
took you like two months to hit max level.
Right.
2 months of playing.
There's like a ranking system with PvP, with open world PvP and Ion, if I remember correctly. Were you and your wife ranked? Were you guys high up there, like the general and stuff?
Yeah. We were both
Oh
there. Yeah.
wow.
Back then, in those days when we started,
Uh huh.
we didn't really know much about the game, because again, we just started as two regular players. However, a couple of years after, we were up there. I think she was a 5 star, and I was right above her, which was a general. Yeah. We never
Okay.
got higher than that, because
Uh huh.
we actually spent our abyss points on stuff as opposed to just hoarding them,
Sure.
like some other
Sure.
players were doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway, it was in front of a rift, and we formed a party, because she was waiting for the rift to spawn, and I came right when it spawned. So we just made a party, and we went to PvP for a few hours, and then after that, I was just talking to her like I would talk to a guy.
Uh huh.
Back then, it was quite nice to meet people, because you added them to your friends list, and
Yeah.
you could PvP with them. They were at a similar level. You could use similar rifts and do similar dungeons, like Fire Temple or whatever there was to do at that time. So it was quite nice. But afterwards, I found out she's a girl, and I thought to myself, "Holy shit! I need to have this one." Because yeah, she was doing pretty well in PvP also, and I thought to myself,
Oh
"Jesus,
my
this is
god.
something that I need." Yeah.
Hold on. How long did it take you to find out she was actually IRL Grill? How did you
So, uh,
find? How long did it take you?
I don't remember, but I wasn't. I never asked her questions
Are
like
you
probing
girl?
questions. Yeah,
Are
exactly.
you girl? Are you a girl? Hold on, time out.
Yeah.
Like, did you guys like? Were you guys using voice comms back in the day, like TeamSpeak, or I can't remember how long ago that would it would
Yeah,
have
it
been
was.
TeamSpeak,
Yeah,
right?
it was. Yeah. There was TeamSpeak, but not many people used TeamSpeak at that time. So
Uh
what we
huh.
did was use Skype. Like we have now the memes with Joel. Joel come to Skype. Called me on Skype. Then yeah, we actually use Skype. So I added her
Okay,
on
okay.
Skype. Just speaking of Skype, so I added her on Skype, and then I think the first time I noticed that
She had a female
that
voice.
yeah, no, yeah, because she didn't really
Uh-huh.
talk much, right?
Okay.
Back then it was very popular. I don't have a
Mm.
mic, right?
Oh
Really popular.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
dangerous these days, man. That's
yeah, yeah,
Catfish
yeah,
Central. I don't have a mic. That's fucking
yeah.
bullshit. Dude. What do you mean you don't have
Yeah,
a
that's
mic?
true.
Yeah.
That's true. I actually heard one of my guildies in Lost Ark just the other day. I think she's a girl. So we invited her to TeamSpeak for Argos. We were doing Argos, and she was like, "Guys, I cannot talk. I don't have a mic." And I was thinking to myself, "Fuck! Of course you have a mic. Everything has a mic these days.
Yeah.
Your screen has a mic. So it's just like, yeah."
Hold on. Sywo, we're not moving on from this subject. I have to hear more. So, what was your wife's name in the game back then?
Her wife, her name, she was playing at that time. She was playing when I met her. She was playing on an assassin called Naina, and
Naina?
she
Okay.
had she had several other characters. And looking at her characters, because Aeon was not a gender locked game. In a
Sure.
couple of weeks after I met her, I got to understand that she plays several other characters. They are all female characters in gender, and very importantly, they are actually done well. They're created
Right.
in a tasteful manner. Because when a guy makes a female character, there's
We
the
have
boob
our
slider,
ways.
the ass slider. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So yeah. But when a girl makes a female
Yeah.
character, it's actually a very good
Hold on.
looking female
So
character. Yeah.
we're gonna come back to the subject, but like not to kind of go, not to change the subject here, but have you ever been to Thailand?
Look, someone was using Ventrilo. No, I have
Ventrilo,
never been to.
Ventrilo
Yeah,
was the
Jesus
FPS
Christ.
one. The
Dude, you're
FPS.
old. Holy cow. I thought I was old.
No, I'm really old. I bet. Hold on, like
Not you. Not
I'm
you. You're
actually
not
old.
old.
I am pretty
No, you're
old.
not. You're
How?
like what? You're like what? 26?
No, I wish.
You're 20. See, this is what I'm saying.
Uh huh.
You look 26, but this guy in your chat that was using Ventrilo, he's
Uh
probably
huh.
41 right now.
Wait, do you think 41 is old or young? I'm assuming you think
Someone
it's
said,
old. Uh huh.
someone says Asians don't age. This is pretty true.
This is very true. Yeah, yeah. If you see an Asian that looks like he's 30, he's probably 50. That's normally how
Yeah.
it goes. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so if I think you're 26,
yeah.
then that means you should be 49.
Close, close. I'm 34, Sywo. I'm
I
34.
see.
Yeah.
You're so young. Holy
Yeah,
cow.
yeah.
Yeah.
How old are you? How
I'm
many?
not gonna say how old I'm
Okay,
27.
you're 27. Okay,
Yeah.
you'll. All right.
21.
30s are coming up pretty soon. You're gonna
Yeah.
enjoy it. You're gonna enjoy it.
Yeah. I cannot wait to get my okay, let's not go any deeper here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
By the way, do you have any female characters yourself? I mean, Lost Ark, you kind of have to, but were you one of the guys that always just played male characters, like when you had the choice?
actually I didn't care. I
Hmm.
honestly don't care about gender of my character. Don't care about voice, don't care about looks, don't care about skins. I just create a character, press the random button, and there it is. Generally, I like to create my characters with either very pale or very dark
Hmm.
skin tones,
Okay.
but that's about it. That's all. That's the only thing I change. I'm not even sure why I do that. I guess it's because my idealism with playing Asmodean in Aeon, which they all had very pale or actually
Hmm.
green skin tones. But other than that, yeah, I
Gotcha.
really don't care
We
about these
we
things.
we
Yeah.
call that either going very pale or going very lofty. By the way, that's like the standard. It's either very
Yeah.
pale or
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
lofty. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, like so. How did you? What were the so okay? Like she went from like PvP partner in game by the Rift
Yeah.
to wife.
Yeah.
How
Yeah,
did you make it happen? How did you make that
you
happen?
know, when I could tell actually, when I could tell that she might not be a guy, because after we
Uh huh.
PvP'd for for quite a while. Then we PvP the next day also for quite a while. Then the third day she kind of started to ask me, "Hey, do you want to do some PvE content?" And I was thinking to myself, of course, of course, not girls don't do PvE content. I'm not saying that. There's a lot of guys actually who do PvE content. Shout out to my guys who love doing PvE content.
Mm-hmm.
And only that. Kappa kappa. So I'm just saying. Then the fourth day she was asking me, "Hey, where did you get that skin?" And by that time I was thinking, oh, okay, maybe he's a guy and he's like into skins and into more PvE than PvP and into all of these other things. Then she was logging in her other characters so she can show me what kind of skins. Then the fifth day, I'm exaggerating with fourth, fifth,
Sure,
sixth
sure,
day. It
sure,
was
sure,
it,
sure,
it
sure.
happened,
Yep.
right? And then another day I was asking her for PvP and she was like, "I cannot. I'm farming a Kerub for a green skin." So at one point I just thought, hey, maybe I should add her on Skype or get her on some TeamSpeak, and
So
maybe we
you
can talk.
so you thought that your wife was a girl because she wanted to do PvE content and farming mobs for skins and asked you about your skins. Pretty much is what I
Yeah,
got
yeah,
from that.
yeah, exactly. So all of these three things combined, yes, in a
Uh-huh.
short span, and also combined with the fact that um, she wasn't necessarily hardcore into gearing up for PvP, or doing all of these math equations as to what's the best way of gearing up, how much stats does that item give compared to the other one. Because I tried to talk to her back then, I was very
Mhm.
much into this math of things and putting stuff in Excel. So, but she was never interested, in these kinds of things. Now, you can find many guys that are just into PvP. You can find many guys that are very much into skins, but you can never find all of these. Plus the fact that she's not interested in like gearing or gear or min maxing at all. That does not exist. So that's
Sywo,
when I
you're
thought,
like
hey,
a fucking detective, man. It's like you've got some
yeah,
kind you've got some
I
algorithm
have a
here to
nose.
figure out
Yeah, a
the
nose.
female out guys, if you're ever in doubt, if you're talking to someone and if you're ever in doubt, just write down her behaviors, and what we could do is we can try to send them to Sywo and have him break down
Yeah,
and tell
yeah, yeah,
you this is a 63% chance for for this person to actually be a woman here. Oh my gosh.
yeah,
Okay, so all right, you found out your wife, you found out like, or you're starting to find out that this person is a girl.
yeah,
How did you seal the deal, bro? How did you see? This is what we all want to hear. We all want to hear
yeah.
how did you seal the deal?
Actually, it was luck. To be fair with you, it
Okay.
was just plain luck. Um, um, well, of course we continued talking. We talked about all sorts of stuff. Then we added each other on Skype and we continued talking about more stuff. You know how it goes. After we played the game, then late nights, a little bit of chatting here. Where are you from? Do you have I don't know, brothers and sisters? I went today to see that particular movie or whatever. Yeah, one thing led to another, and I got very lucky because at the time when we met, she just got out of a very long relationship,
Mm.
um, and at that time in my life, I I wasn't single, so I was with
You
someone
were
else to
oh
my shame. Wait,
whoa.
wait a second. Wait
Okay.
a
All
second.
right.
Wait a sec. Okay, so yeah, yeah, yes, I was with someone else at that time, right? But
Uh-huh.
but we never talked about hey, do you like me? I wanna go out with you, or I wanna be together with you. We just talked about normal either life things or game things. And by the time I found out that she's actually not a guy that I just play with, then afterwards it took a couple of months of Skype and TeamSpeak. At first we were just doing
Mm.
content together. It was nothing like I'm cheating on someone or I'm flirting with some other
Uh-huh.
person. It was just literally just Aion talk. and
Sure.
maybe
Right.
a
Right.
little bit
Right.
of
Right.
real
Right.
life.
Right. I mean, you
Yeah.
didn't even know that that person was a girl for a while either. So.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So and then afterwards, when I did find out, and the more we played and stuff, the more, let's say, we liked each other. Then of course I left the relationship where I was before inviting her over. And I did invite
Mm.
her over. She's from another country, so I
Oh.
invited her over, and she was kind enough to come over. Actually, I said that I want to visit her, right?
Right.
So after I left my current relationship, I said that I want to come visit you, but I never had the money, right? Because
Mm.
I'm really bad with money, and I also don't necessarily sort of cared that much about I don't know about doing stuff like to get lots of money, and that's all
Sure.
my
Sure. Sure. Sure.
focus. I respect every dime, but I don't necessarily care to m- make them nonstop. I never had the money. And after a couple of months, I was already out of my current relationship for months. After a couple of months, she kind of got bored of just waiting for me to visit her, and she just came to visit me right away because she's really good with money. She puts aside, she's saves and stuff. So she came over to visit me, and yeah, from there on, it was just a normal boyfriend girlfriend relationship. All of a sudden, starting from the airport,
Really,
and
it's
then
like
later on,
starting from the airport. Like the moment you
yeah,
guys
like
met, it was
yeah,
like
yeah,
that was
yeah,
it.
yeah. Day one, like second one, hold hands and etc. Whatever comes after.
Wow, wow. So hold on. Did you got? Let me ask you this, Sywo, because this is kind of getting into Korean culture. We're gonna talk a little bit about it, but
Let's do it.
did you, when you became boyfriend girlfriend with her, did you ever ask her, or did you ever like say something to set, hey, we are in an exclusive relationship? How or was it just kind of, hey, we're just kind of holding hands, so I'm just assuming we're in a relationship now, kind of thing?
It, at the beginning, I guess none of us cared because she came to visit my home country, Romania, for I think she was here for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. It was quite a lot of days for a first meeting. She was really brave to come over to Romania. Romania is a place that is not very well heard of. In that sense, people tell stories about Romanians that we kidnap babies and take your liver and sell it on the black market, but of course it's far from the truth. Um, um,
I've
but yeah,
actually never
anyway,
heard of
just
that stereotype ever before in my life, actually.
yeah.
So
Have you heard about gypsies in Romania, for example? Like lots of gypsies. This is
I
a more
haven't.
common one.
I haven't.
Yeah.
The only thing I've heard from Romania was like my substitute teacher was from there in seventh grade, and outside of that, I think Count Dracula, is that from Romania or something like that?
Yeah, that's from Romania. Yeah,
Yeah.
speaking of Count Dracula, many years later, actually, after I met my wife, her father, which is um, very big on these rumors, Dracula and stuff like that. He really wanted to come to Romania to visit Dracula's castle. Holy shit, that's such a tourist thing to do, at least for a Romanian. But anyway, we went with her father, of course. You know, the
Oh,
father-in-law. You
sure.
need to make him happy. I took him all the way. We had to drive from my hometown. We had to drive 9 hours to for him to see the goddamn Dracula's castle.
Nine
It's just a
hours. Oh my god.
it's just a pile of rocks. But hey, Dracula was there, right? Anyway, we went to see Dracula. We saw Dracula. Regardless, so yeah, so she was here for 3 weeks at the beginning, as I was
Mhm.
saying, and then she had to leave because her flight back was a thing. And then afterwards, obviously, in 3 weeks, you get to do a lot. But it was never a question of are we together now or we aren't together now. It was just
Mm.
we just did so much
Mhm.
holding hands um, that that uh, um, that it wasn't even a
And yeah,
question.
it was just known between the two of you guys. By the way, I can relate with the whole Dracula thing. When I lived in China. I lived in Beijing for about 4 years, and every time I would have people visit, they're like, "Bro, we gotta go to the wall. We gotta go to the wall," and I'm just like, "Fuck that wall." I've been there
Yeah.
so many times now. I'm like, bro, it's a fucking wall, and for some reason, no matter what part of it you're on, you're always walking uphill. For which is fucking true, by the way. You're always, for some reason, always walking uphill, and it's just, oh, it's just the wall. I totally
Yeah.
get it. I totally get it. I can't. I can't. Oh my gosh, yeah.
No, but it's fine, you know. I mean, it's an attraction. It's a thing that actually happened. Well, not necessarily with Dracula being like, transforming into a bat and flying and sucking people's blood. But the guy was a real character, and he was actually a lord, and he had his own castle, this particular castle. So it's a thing. But the thing is, very much pumped up to. But it's interesting. I mean, if I would go to China, I would also want to go to the wall.
Right. Let's be
So
real
I
here.
get,
Yeah.
yeah, of course. Uh, but yeah, yeah. Anyway,
Sorry. I think my mic just kind of. I got excited and I yelled again. Sorry, Chad. I have that tendency. The mic's okay right now, right? I just want to make sure I didn't blow my mic out by saying that. Hold on. So it was all right. It was. Hold on. We were just talking about. I was gonna actually continue on a point that you just made before the Dracula point. Where was it? Oh, okay. So the dating thing, So, Sywo, I don't know if you know, but in Korea, right? And I have a little bit of an issue with this because I'm kind of like you, right? Like for me, it's more like natural and just kind of becomes known, whatever. But in Korea, it's a legitimate proposal type of thing. Now everyone goes about it a different way, but most people straight up they have to just ask them as if you ask someone, will you marry me type of thing. It's like, hey, will you be my girlfriend? Hey, will you go out with me? Kind of like, I guess in those Japanese animes where they're like, I'll confess. That's a thing here, and it's always after like somewhere like normally after like 3 dates, right? And I remember there's this girl that I was dating in Korea, and it was the same thing. We were holding hands, and I think like on the third or fourth, maybe even fifth day, I think yeah, we had kissed and stuff, and I remember we were in a car together, and we just kissed in the car, and then she straight up just looks at me like with these eyes, like just these piercing eyes, and she's just like in Korean, she's like, "왜 안 물어봐?" Which means why aren't you asking me? Like I was like,
mhm.
I was like asking you what? And she's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
and she got
yeah, yeah. No,
pissed,
yeah,
bro.
that's the normal way of doing things. Of course, that's a very nice way.
Mm-hmm.
That's a romantic way. It's something that you remember. She was a very good sport with me throughout our relationship because I don't know. I'm just pretty stupid. Like with girls in general, I'm just like so bad. I'm just absolutely horrible. Also, when I proposed to her, because I did propose to her when we got married, it was the shittiest proposal that a guy has ever done. Like anything else would have been better. So
What did you
yeah,
do?
yeah,
Can
we
can
just,
you share that with
uh,
us?
yeah, of course, I didn't do anything.
Oh, you
That's the
didn't do.
thing.
Oh, you did. You
Yeah,
literally did nothing.
yeah, exactly. It was really bad. It was like really, really bad. Yeah, at that time we were living. It was right before we wanted to get married, so we wanted to put some money aside for the wedding because in Romania there's a tradition that you need to invite a lot of people, and each of these people that come, each of the families, they obviously they give you a gift, generally
Mm-hmm.
money,
Mm-hmm.
so you do make the money back that you spend
Sure.
on everything. But there's a lot of money that you need to spend before you get the guests, right? It's just
Mm-hmm.
thousands of euros. So. Um, we decided to give up the rental that we were living in and start living with my parents for a couple of months before the wedding. Actually, it wasn't just a couple of months, it was more like 6 months before. So we can
Oh.
put
Mm-hmm.
aside the rental money and more because, my parents cooked. They were, living in their own place. So they were paying the bills anyway. We helped them a bit, but not as much as if we would have been living alone like we did before this. So, and then I proposed to her like in a shitty upstairs room. I remember I was dressed in a like the way I dress in my videos, also in just these shitty clothes, because I don't care about clothes, and I just wear the same clothes for years. And I was just dressed in something that's really bad, and it was just all horrible. It was a hot day also.
Uh-huh.
And it was just like the room wasn't even properly cleaned. I remember this very uh, uh, precisely. And even so, she said yes, she was a good sport. We did talk about it afterwards, and I did apologize. It was just the shittiest, like nothing, like really nothing.
At
I
least
feel
he asked
so
her in real life though, but I was expecting like typing to her in a party chat in a dungeon or something, and I like yeah, like just like that,
dude.
yo, marry me question mark.
That would have been
It
better,
would have
and
been better.
yeah, a nicer moment to remember. At least it's a shitty way to ask for someone to marry you in a party chat, but it would have been better than me dressed in a broken t-shirt in an upstairs room that's dirty, just giving her a ring and saying, do you want to marry me? This was really, really bad, and I did apologize to
Wow.
her very many times, and I said that for our 25th anniversary. I'm gonna really
25th,
do a good job.
hold on. 25th anniversary as in like marriage anniversary? Like
Yeah,
you've been married
yeah, yeah, yeah.
25 years now?
No, no, no. I said that I promised her that because in Romania,
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
I mean, in Romanian tradition, you celebrate 25 and 50 years. That's the silver wedding and the gold wedding, right?
Okay.
So it's a big thing. 25 years of being married. Right now, we have 11 years of being married.
Okay.
So
Wow,
more
that's
to
still a
go,
long
and then
time. Yeah.
Yeah. So then I said I'm gonna really do a good job, because I feel so ashamed and so embarrassed of the way I did it. It was just so stupid. I'm so stupid with girls. Like really, I was just the dumbest person ever.
You're
Like with
like
everything I
you're like
did.
300
It,
IQ figuring out whether she was a girl or not, but it just goes downhill from
yeah.
there.
Yeah, exactly. It was really bad. I'm really bad. I'm actually surprised that any girl actually manages to like me or to stand me. To be fair, because
Must have
I'm
been
just
your
horrible.
general status for in Aion, man. It must have been that faction
Yeah,
rank.
yeah. That's the thing. No, I'm
Wow.
generally a nice guy and stuff, but I have like some big flaws, and one of them is like just being around my girlfriend. I have this stupid ideas, and I had these dumb ideas also even before meeting her. I don't even want to get into those, because those are just like really, really
Cringe.
like childish.
Really?
Yeah, 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 yeah. It was really bad. Anyway, yeah, we're over that now. We are, I don't know, 15 years older. It's much better. I've read some books in the meantime on, how to have a relationship with a woman. So I'm much
You
better
actually
now.
read books.
I actually read two books on
Wow.
how to how to be around girls, right? Or how
Hold
to
on.
say things, how to.
So
I'm really bad. I'm
you
just bad.
hold on, time out, time out. Did you read those books after you got married?
Um, yeah, yeah, basically.
Wow, good for you. Oh my gosh. A lot of
It's
respect
bad.
for the like because a lot of guys normally after they get married they're just like, all right, I'm married, I'm done, I don't need to, you know there's less effort. But like after you got married to for your wife, that's impressive. Well done.
That's
Wow.
an interesting way of seeing things, by the way, Canon. I actually see them the opposite. That she had to go through, I don't know, few years, maybe 3 years
Mm-hmm.
of just I don't know, just not the right way at all.
I think the fact that you put in effort, like it's like one of those things, right? It's putting in effort when you don't really technically need to. I mean, you should always put in effort whatever you do, but like a lot of guys, after they would get married, they would put, if anything, they'd put less effort. And the fact that you're literally reading books to try and better, to give your wife a better experience as a man, that that kind of came out wrong, but you
Yeah.
get what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Yeah, that's got a lot of
No, I'm just
respect. That effort is,
I'm,
yeah.
see, no, the thing is that I have to read books just to be normal. Generally, people read books to be like much better, or like at 75%. I need to read books to be at 50%, right? Like baseline stuff. It's just like watching a guide in Lost Ark. I don't know how to how to make silver or what engravings are good for your class. I mean, it's just simple logic. But anyway, let's move past that. Look, we spent
Yeah.
an hour talking about my wife.
Yes. I know, right? Oh my gosh. Okay, it's a real quick question. The other question I did want to ask you was your experience with Bless, because apparently that I played a little bit of Aion. I never played any Bless. Bless was a fucking shit show from what I heard. What was that like? I did play Bless when it first came out in KR, like for like a couple of days, right? Like right when it came out, I downloaded it, I tried it, whatever, and I was just kind of like, this stuff, like whatever, and then I didn't play it. Like, what was your experience with Bless? How much time did you put into that?
I think when I get into something, I generally when I show something publicly, I get very invested in that particular something.
Mm.
Backstage, I play a bit of Dota. Maybe not now. Now it's just Lost Ark all the time. But before this, I used to play a little bit of this, of that. I played a bit of WoW. I played a bit of I don't know, whatever else is out there, Blade and Soul, all of these other games. But I never showed them on my channel or
Right.
go public about them, just because I wasn't very interested in them. So with Bless, it was the same situation. I was very interested in the game. The game was at that time was a fantastic visual experience. They had so many cool things working for them.
Mm-hmm.
However, the one problem that Bless had from the get-go was they couldn't figure out the combat. And when I
Mm.
started playing Bless, it was like very early um, um, stages of the game. I think I got into an open beta that they have before release, and that's when I started playing Bless. And we all thought that um, it's gonna get better. They're still gonna work on it. They were very confused in between tab targeting and the regular style of combat. They wanted to have both in the game,
Mm-hmm.
and some classes felt really bad with one, some classes felt really bad with the other, and then it was kind of like a choice. Which class do you play depending what combat you kind of want to do? And
Mm.
it was a weird situation. But at the beginning, we were all very hopeful that this is going to change and it's going to be much better. However, this did not change, and the way the game came out for us. They ran out of money, unfortunately, in the studio. They wanted to do something off the roof, amazing, and it ended up with just some clunky characters, just jumping in weird ways over the battlefield. But their ideas were just phenomenal. They had Hans Zimmer do the music. They
Mm.
had like this gorgeous mount system where you can tame any animal that you see, any
Mm.
mob, whether that might be a giant or a crocodile or a chicken. You could tame them and have them as your mount. And on top of that,
That's really cool.
they had some interesting dungeons as well, and they had some plans for open world PvP in some maps. So it was very close to Aeon. It was interesting, but it didn't work out. I left Bless Online before it even released for us in the West,
Mm.
and I had very many videos about Bless Online. I think it was in total, I don't know, maybe like 50, 60 videos about the game during this period. And um, before a few months before they released the Western version, everyone was mega hype about the game
Mm.
because it finally is coming out. And I was the only one who actually backed out of Bless Online months before release. And I actually stated the reasons exactly. Same reasons why the game died,
Yeah.
got shut down. Um, so yeah, that was my experience with Bless. A nice idea, but it didn't work out.
Mm.
Yeah.
Um. So you did Ion content, you did Bless content, and then you went Lost Ark content. Now, as a content creator, especially in the MMO space, I know it can be kind of difficult to do content but also choose the right game, right? Like for example, if you were to do I don't know, let's say Guild Wars 2 for example, content on YouTube, there's a different level of viewership for that type of content versus let's say Lost Ark, because obviously Lost Ark is kind of like the new game right now and that's fresh. Like, how much of that played into the decision making process with you and your channel? Because you are a YouTuber, but you're also a gamer as well, right? Like, at what point, how much of that factored into your choice decision to play Lost Ark, as well as, plus how much did you actually enjoy Lost Ark? Like, what made you stick with Lost Ark? Was it a combination of, hey, I think this is going to be a huge hit, and I enjoy the game, or was it one or the other, or what was that like for you in the earlier
Yeah.
days?
At the beginning in 2018, when I started it, it actually took me a couple of weeks until I realized that Lost Ark is, I don't know, how can I say this to be very precise? So let's assume that I didn't like Lost Ark,
Mm-hmm.
but it was such a well-made game that I, as a human being, wanted to spend my time on my computer playing this.
Mm-hmm.
That was, let's say, the baseline of me being in Lost Ark.
Mm-hmm.
In the first few days, I didn't like the style of the game, the camera view, and the controls. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't like that at all. I found the combat to be difficult to swap from a classic MMO to this, but I continued playing it just because it smelled nice, right? It
Okay.
had like this great vibe to it, and I
Mm-hmm.
thought it's a computer game that I want to play. Just like, I don't know, other cool games, Dota, this War of Mine, The Witcher, all of these other games
Mm-hmm.
that are just cool. You don't want to be a full-time Witcher player or maybe a full-time
Right.
this War of Mine player or
Right.
whatever. But you play them because they're just really nice games to play,
Sure.
right? The same happened with me with Lost Ark, and I did this for actually for I think it was a bit 2 months, um, when I was still a little bit confused and not necessarily myself in love with Lost Ark. I also got in my first month of playing, I got to level 50 on a Soul Master, Soul Fist, and I started to do PvP because I really enjoyed the PvP content in games in general, and I
Mm-hmm.
really sucked at PvP, but I could see the potential
Mm.
of the PvP system, and I could see me liking it, but maybe on another class. So then I tried several other classes. Eventually, I tried out 45 different characters in 3.5 years. But that's a different story. So I did find a class that was very suitable for me in PvP, and when I found a class that's very suitable for me in PvE, then I got to like it even more. And the game is just phenomenal. It's just a phenomenal game. Um, so that's how I ended up with Lost Ark. Never in my life have I considered once that this game is big and I need to stick to it because eventually in
Mm.
2020 fucking three, I'm gonna have more subscribers or I'm gonna make some more money. When I started, nobody cared about Lost Ark here in the West. The Discord community for Lost Ark at that time was about 7,000 people,
Yeah.
right?
Small.
So even if every single one of those would watch you, plus a couple of your old fans from Aion, then it would still be like
Yeah.
just very few views in general.
Mm.
So I just continued with this. A couple of videos went a bit higher views. A couple of videos went into a magazine, but nothing big, nothing special. And I never made money. Actually, since 2018, as a content creator, I've made about anywhere in between $150 and $270 in my best months in terms of Lost Ark. Some videos as we got closer to release, and this is by the way per month, not per video, right?
Mm.
So the money wasn't there, and
Sure.
and quite frankly, I actually thought the opposite of what happened with Lost Ark in the West. I actually thought people, or a large majority of people, would not even be interested in trying the game because
Mm.
the game is fundamentally, as you look at it from the distance, the game is pay to win. So because of that, I absolutely knew because the game Lost Ark was always with the cash shop. It was never a time when Lost Ark did not have a cash shop or did not have a currency exchange or did not have tradable, very important things for you to max out your gear with. Whether that might have been runes in the past or whatever, because Acrasium was untradeable. Whether that might have been Chaos Dungeon reset tickets. I knew as a fact that
Mm-hmm.
people would be bothered by this. And
Right.
obviously, there was a big boom at the beginning of Lost Ark's release right now. But afterwards, when the large majority got to understand what is the cash shop in Lost Ark, what you can buy with it, people are being bothered by these things, and it's not for everyone. And I always knew that, and I actually thought that Lost Ark is going to be sort of a BDO level
Mm.
of a game in the West, which
Mm-hmm.
is, I
That's
don't know.
it's pretty high though. BDO, I feel like BDO is very respectable in terms of the
So
yeah.
BDO is BDO, I think, is I mean, before Lost Ark and New World. BDO was like the fourth or fifth
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
most popular MMO. So it was World of
Yeah.
Warcraft, then it was Final Fantasy 14, then it was Elder Scrolls, and then it was
Yeah.
BDO, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I thought that Lost Ark would sort of take BDO's
Mm-hmm.
place. 10K viewers on Twitch at any time. 150K players and this kind of thing. Lost Ark did much better than I initially expected. I've always said it in my videos also that I don't necessarily believe Lost Ark is going to be a game adored by the masses. That might be Ashes of Creation, but not Lost Ark. And yeah, simply because of the cash shop. They never changed with the cash shop, right?
Mm.
But no, yeah, it's better a little bit for us, but still people, as you can clearly see, everything is about pay to win these days. All of the topics, pay to win this, pay to win that, cash shop, real money, whales, interview with a whale, the deplorable state of Lost Ark,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
heartbreaking in Lost Ark, censorship in Lost Ark, you don't have any boobs, you don't have any this, so it's about these kinds of problems that
Sure.
people are having.
Sure. So, we're definitely going to be talking about Lost Ark a little bit later into the podcast, but I want to kind of stick with the topic of your content as a YouTuber, right? Because
Yeah.
it is important that you bring in viewership. I think it's very big shout out to you for playing a game and doing content for a game that you just enjoy, despite thinking that it might not actually. It's probably not going to be the biggest game. Um, what is that like with like back then? Were you doing content for just for fun, or were you actually like? I mean, of course, it's like anything else, right? Like, hey, if I can build it, let's build it, type of thing. But were you at that point like, hey, I'm going to be fully committed in doing full time content creating, or was it just like just a for fun thing? And how did what did that evolve into?
Right. So the story with me and creating content is actually, in my opinion, or the way I see it, it's a pretty complicated story.
Mm-hmm.
I woke up too late that I like computer games on all of my life before 25 years old. Uh, yeah, before 25, I didn't touch a computer because I don't care about computers and I don't care about playing computer games.
Mm-hmm.
I was outside. I was working, not like in the fields with a shovel, but just having a job
Sure,
since an early age.
living a normal
I
life.
enjoy,
Yeah.
yeah, I enjoy making money, right? I love money. I love to have money. That's why I work two jobs to make money.
Mm-hmm.
So with content creation, it was a thing that I started in WildStar. WildStar was one of the games that I play. I started
Mm-hmm.
playing I think at 24. When I was 24, I started with Runes of Magic. I played that for a couple of months, and I started playing computer games because I got some sort of an illness at my lower back that
Oh.
I had to go through to treat it. So I had these periods during a day where, let's say, I couldn't really move, right? I couldn't really walk because of this lower back, that tailbone kind of from
Mm-hmm.
your spine, right above your ass, right? So that one was kind of hurting, and it needed some sort of a little surgery, and I was afraid and I didn't want to go through with it and stuff. I worked too much before that. I was working like 16-hour jobs. So because of this, overstressing my body, this shit happened. So
Mm.
then afterwards I had to quit that job, and then when I quit my job I was having these periods of like 3 to 4 hours where I just could stay on a chair
Sure.
or in a bed. So I thought, hey, some computer games. That's how I got into games. I was 24, didn't care about them before this. So then with content creation, I started with Wildstar, and I started for the very simple reason that I absolutely loved that game. That was the best
It was a
MMO I ever played in my
fantastic
life.
game. It was one of my favorites as
What a
well.
game. What a
What
game.
class did you
What a,
play?
I had an engineer and I also had a warrior. I played my warrior as a tank.
Hmm.
I absolutely loved a warrior tank. So
I was a
anyway,
warrior myself. I was a warrior myself, by the way. And I
there you
was,
go.
and
There you
before
go.
before it died, the class that I really wanted to try, because I was fully committed to warrior, the class I really wanted to try was actually a DPS medic. What was it? Were they called medics? They
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
they're called medics, right? Like with the yeah. Those look putting the fields down and stuff. Yeah, yeah, man, it's such a
Someone,
good game.
look, you have viewers who actually also played Wildstar. Someone was actually
Mm.
asking, how did everyone love Wildstar and it died so fast? This is the question that will solve the universe, right?
Mm.
This is the question. Because like everyone you ask, they absolutely adored Wildstar. It had that
Right.
really difficult content and challenging content with raids. You need pre-mage, you need 40 man, right? It had really casual content as well. And myself and my group of friends that we always play games with, we all played Wildstar, we all played Aion,
Hmm.
we're all playing Lost Ark, so we go together to places. And we could never answer the question, why did it die? Why didn't it? When a game dies, that means there is so few interest in it that you cannot even keep the servers up. I mean, if you look at currently at some shitty games like Terra or like Aion in a
Hmm.
deplorable state, you see that, like 300 people are still playing on an average basis if you look
Hmm.
at Steam charts, right? But they're still alive. Why did Wildstar have to be shut down? This is the question that solves the universe.
Sure.
Anyway, so
Sure.
I started creating content on YouTube in Wildstar simply because I felt the game is dying and I wanted more people to learn about it and to see how much I like the game because I absolutely
Mm-hmm.
loved Wildstar.
Mm.
And that's the only reason, because I wanted more people to love Wildstar. And I thought,
Wow.
me, the great Sywo, I'm gonna make a difference on YouTube. Fucking nobody, right? So anyway, I started, and this is where it started off. I started with guides. I started with like my general
Hmm.
type of content
How
where
ironic is that, by the way? Not sorry to cut you off there, but how
yeah, I
ironic is
know.
that? You say that, you think that, and here we are, fast forward to the future, and you were the guy that made the difference for Lost Ark. Maybe not Wildstar, Wildstar, but you definitely did make that difference for Lost Ark. And wow, that's
Yeah, the thing I did afterwards was after you start creating content on YouTube, it sort of becomes like a drug. But
mm,
I started a little bit too late in my life. Too late because when I started to create content and to want to become a YouTuber and stuff like that, all of these dreams of adolescent dreams. I was already married. I, had to keep a job from my past. I actually had to keep two jobs because I like money too much. And I never saw YouTube or content creation as an opportunity to actually make as much money as I would like to make.
mm-hmm.
So because of that, it was always very hard for me to create
Sure.
content. It's just always hard. And then afterwards, just a couple of years after I started creating content, obviously you're married, and at one point you get a lot of peer pressure to have kids. And then when you do have kids, one of you has to start taking care of the kids, and you have to
Absolutely.
swap.
Mm-hmm.
And they drain you, they suck you dry of every bit of energy and hype that you have in your body. If you want to do a proper job, if you want to do a shitty job with your kids, you can just lock them in a room and just be yourself, stream all day long. However, I
Lock them in.
felt a little bit, yeah, I felt a little bit guilty,
Uh-huh.
um, because it was my choice to have kids, and I just woke up too late, unfortunately.
Sure,
I
sure,
woke
sure,
up a
sure.
little bit too late. I had kids, and it was my choice to have kids, so I'm the retarded one here,
What do
because
you mean?
I could.
It sounds. What's wrong with having kids though? I mean, yeah,
No,
obviously it
no,
affects the YouTube career for sure, but
yeah, no, I'm just saying there's
yeah.
nothing wrong with having kids, but if you yourself have other goals and aspirations in life, you cannot have two, three kids and expect that
Mm,
you're gonna be a big shot streamer to stream 12 hours a day every day, and then when do you take care of the kids, or who's gonna take care of that? Someone else has to give up their life for your kids. So never have
yeah,
kids
I
if you
totally get that.
yourself are not happy
Mm,
with where you are at the moment, or if you want to do something else. Have
mm,
kids if you want to have kids, and if you want to take care of kids. But otherwise,
right.
it's a very complicated business to have kids and to be all
Absolutely.
hype for streaming.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
totally get that because like for me, I work full time as well, and I don't have kids that I have to take care of, so I can only imagine what kind of energy that would require. Because my business partner that I work with in real life, he has two kids, and I see him in zombie mode constantly, even when he gets quote unquote vacation time or time off or his days off. It's just as bad, if not worse than work when it comes to energy drain, because it's like, hey, how's your vacation? It's like, yeah, I had to get up at fucking 6 in the morning every day, go to this
yeah,
amusement park here with the kid. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, I
yeah,
totally get it. I'm really lacking in the energy department as well, and I do everything that I can to be hype and all that stuff, and that's without kids. Now, granted, I am
yeah,
working full time, but working
yeah.
plus having kids, I had no idea you're actually working full time. You're still working full time as well?
Yeah, yeah. So I was working full time, but just I just before I answer your
Sure,
question,
sure.
I just want to talk a little bit with the chat. They were saying someone was
Mm,
saying that it's a little bit too harsh to say that you don't have kids yet. So when you do have kids and you also have your, let's say, your own goals, then that becomes a huge problem. If your
mm,
own goals are to just be a gardener or to work a little bit on your house and stuff like that, then you can involve your kids as well. But if your
yeah,
own goals are to be a YouTuber, a streamer, something that requires you not only to be live and focused on your chat
sure.
all the time and
Mm,
to be happy and positive and not look, do you
yeah,
see my under my eyes? They're absolutely horrible. This is because 3 hours of sleeping, yeah. So that being an entertainer
mm,
requires you to not have already entertained two kids for the past 8 hours and then start entertaining another 439 viewers for another 12 hours.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
it, it's very complicated. Like,
Before we move on from this, I want to actually back up Sywo on this. And again, I don't have kids, but it's not just streaming, to be honest. It's
yeah,
really anything in life. Like, let's say you're an athlete trying to pursue a professional
yeah,
career in soccer or football, right? It's here's the thing. You know the saying where they're saying, "Hey, don't get your girlfriend pregnant or your career's over." Where do you think that comes from? It's 100% true, because like when you have kids, like clearly Sywo is making his kids a priority, right? And that because he's doing that, because he's being a good father, it takes
actually,
away
actually,
from. Mhm,
it's just 50-50. At the
mhm.
moment, it's 50-50. I'm not the best father I can be. I am actually giving up my kids and putting also my wife to the other 50, just so I can continue the YouTube and the
Sure, yeah,
stuff.
but I mean it's a partnership, right? I mean that's totally
Yeah,
fair. That's totally fair.
yeah,
You've got a
yeah,
partnership, with your wife, and I think that's fantastic. But I think I mean when you have kids, and you're trying to pursue something, whether it's content creating or a professional career or a business, as a it could even be an entrepreneurship related, business, whatever that may be. It's you are at a serious disadvantage, to the point where it might not even be possible, because to be good at something, whether it's to get 100,000 YouTube subscribers, 200,000, whether it's to make the minor leagues of baseball, it requires so much time and dedication. And not only time and dedication, but focus, practice time, everything, right? And that is just something that is extremely difficult to do with kids. So as someone that's listening to this, I don't want people to maybe misinterpret what Sywo's saying, thinking like, oh, because of my kids, I'm not where I'm at with my content. No, no, that's not what Sywo's saying. It's what he's saying is, hey, when you have kids, it's a different game because there's the energy and just the responsibilities and all that type of stuff. It's a different game. And that's a lot of I had a lot that's a I had no idea you had kids, by the way, Sywo, and I had no idea you were working full time. I mean, shit, man, you are. I thought I was on the grind. You are on that fucking grind.
Yeah,
Jesus, man.
I think a lot of people are on the
Mm,
grind. To be fair, it's your choice to have kids,
yeah.
right? Nobody forces you to have kids. We all know how kids are made, and because of that, it's your choice. Now, you can never say that having kids is a bad choice because kids, for example, these two kids that I have actually taught me how to have more fun,
Wow.
how to see life from a different perspective, because I'm generally the serious type, and I'm generally the type that swears all the time. But since kids, I actually changed in that sense, and I'm very
That's
thankful
fantastic.
to these young kids for doing that. However, at the same time, um, the kids are not the problem. The problem is what I said initially when we started the topic. The fact that I woke up too late. That is the problem.
Yeah.
If I would have started YouTube when I was 18, if I would have been just a teensy bit, actually a lot smarter than I currently am, I would have started this at 18, and by the time I would have been 27 to have kids, I would already either be popular or have failed or already know what it takes to do content creation and how many kids can I afford, if any. However, I didn't know any of these things. I was a sucker up until I was an adult, and because of that, giving into peer pressure that you have to have kids, that you need to have them now, that you need to get married, that you need to get your own house, that you need to, all of these things.
Mm.
It was just my fault initially, not for having kids, but for either not having kids sooner, so that by 2022 Lost Ark's release, they would already be 15 years old and out, I don't know, drinking whatever 15 years old does, or just have them later after I'm done and satisfied with my own my own life. It's not about money. It's not about making lots of money before you have kids. Kids don't need money. Kids actually need attention and
Mm.
care. Money is the last thing that they need, actually. But it's
Spoken
just
like a
about
true
your
father.
own. Yeah, and that's how it is.
Mm.
You just need your own persona to be satisfied. If you're a person who's satisfied with fewer, I am an electrical engineer. I work from 9 to 5. I come home and I watch a Netflix movie with my kids. That is fantastic. That's a great way of doing things, and you're happy. Or there is another version where, for example, many women have this maternal 100% dedication, and they want children, they want to take care of them, they're all day with the children so the guy can go to work and after that make even more money streaming for 6 hours. In my case, me and my wife share sort of a 50-50 thing. She's also very focused on her career, and likes to do things, and it's very tough from reading a child's book when I go, this is a cow, it does moo, to going to the Lost Ark Reddit and reading posts like "fuck this game, it's a pay-to-win garbage," and thinking, what content can I possibly create after saying "moo" 100 times? How can I possibly talk to
Oh my
people and
god.
explain them Lost Ark? Yeah, it's a little bit weird. It's weird, it's complicated, and it's very energy draining. However, speaking about my content, I'm still on 3 videos every week. I've been on at least two, if not three, four videos since 2018, and I'm happy to keep this up. I really wanted to stream, and I was streaming actually when Lost Ark was released, but that's only because both of my parents were here and helping me out with the kids, and
Wow.
then I didn't feel guilty, because then there is also this feeling, the feeling of feeling guilty. N- it's not these kids' fault for being here. It's my decision to have them here.
Sure.
So if you decide something, then you cannot just fuck around and now all of a sudden I want to be a streamer, and these two kids, which are my decision, are just gonna lay there. So they have to be in good hands for me to feel happy, for me to feel excited about things. So I was very happy for the 2 weeks of release of Lost Ark. My parents were here. By the way, I don't even have any help in that sense, because I'm currently living in my wife's country, which is Estonia, and I've been living here for very many years. And she has no family here. There's nobody. It's
Oh
just
wow.
us. Yeah, she also has basically one friend, which is that single 40-year-old type. She doesn't want to have anything to do with kids at all. So there is nobody to give the kids for, at least for 2 hours on a weekend.
Hmm.
And it's just like, just makes you wanna, um, yeah, it's yeah.
How old are you
Anyway,
kids? How old are you kids?
my oldest is a girl. She's 4.5, and then my youngest is a boy. He
Wow.
is 1.5.
Wow. So you
So
still got a lot of years before they could start alt
yeah,
farming for you.
exactly, pretty much. I'm gonna put them to good work, but it's gonna take some. Yeah.
I saw
Mhm.
Al say something in the chat earlier talking about Sywo cursing. No way. You know what I love about this? I love the fact that you curse. I love the fact that this is a raw conversation and we get to see a side of
Yeah.
you. The real, not the real side. Not, I mean, I feel like you're very genuine in your videos to begin with, but just kind of like casual conversation, Sywo. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, there's no need to, for me personally. There's no need to swear in
Yeah,
like
no
in
point.
videos,
Yeah.
or even in streams. I don't feel the need to say fucking game. Would just say game.
Yeah, sure,
It's
sure.
uh,
That's the
but
problem with
anyway.
me. Like I say fucking all the time in my YouTube videos. It's-
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like,
It's all good.
what do you think it's gonna fucking, like that's just the way.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But Jesus, man, bro, this is like I have a newfound respect for you, man. I always have a respect for anyone that has a successful content. That has a successful YouTube channel, but more so now. So that leads me to kind of ask this next question, I guess. Like, so where are you now? I mean, we know where you're at with your content from a numbers perspective. I mean, you're well over 100K now, pushing 150. I think you're at 110, 120, something like that, right? Last time I checked.
Yeah, right now,
Sub
yeah,
wise. Yeah.
yeah. I'm just sorry, I'm just typing my name here to check exactly. Yeah, 116K, but the
116K.
stuff,
Yeah.
yeah, but stuff right now is actually slowing down to the point where it's at zero. So because there
Hmm.
was a lot of people wanting to subscribe to Lost Star content creators because they were playing the game and wanted to know a little bit more of different perspectives. But right now there's a lot of people leaving the game. So because of that, they're not
Yes.
interested in more.
I've noticed that
Um,
with my videos as well. I mean, we kind of expected it. Let's be real here. It was really inflated at launch, and then
yeah,
things are going to start
yeah,
normalizing. Which, by the way, huge shout out to Laffy and Saint, because I don't know if you're aware, but they literally quit their jobs during the launch or right around the launch time. Could have been at or after to pursue content creating full time. And for me, as someone that's a little bit more on the conservative side, it's like I want to do the same, but I'm just like,
yeah,
man, that's a ballsy play. Because like for me, if my channel is centered around Lost Ark, and this game flops, because it could, you never know. If it flops,
yeah,
then there goes the channel. Well, not completely, but there goes the viewership, there goes the money and all that stuff that's super inflated right now. So like for me personally, I want to monitor how this goes, and which is also another reason why I'm trying to do these podcasts and other different types of content using Lost Ark as a gateway to it, because I don't want to be subject to the game. I've had a lot of conversation
yeah,
with Stoops in that regard. But like that's interesting that you say that, because I don't know your analytics and you don't know my analytics. I can certainly tell you that my sub count hasn't been growing for the past couple of days.
yeah,
It's definitely it was just like whoosh, and then it's just like plateaued, and now it's back
yeah,
to like that slow build. And you got to
yeah.
grind for it. Is that pretty much what you're saying too? Because the viewership in the videos, Not bad. It's still pretty good. You know, you could put out a video. It's still higher than normal. Normal being like, you know, back when there's only, you know, the OG creators, like back, you know, before I even came to the scene type of viewership. It's better. It's certainly better than that. But like, is that what you're kind of feeling? And is that kind of why you're thinking I can't do this full time yet? And what do you think?
Yeah, well, actually, yeah, that's what's happening to me, and that's what's happening to everyone,
Everyone,
by
yeah,
the way.
yeah.
So yeah, everyone that is currently on YouTube, there are people who, you know, were, let's say, fortunate in a way, and also obviously put in the mega hard work. I think Stoops is doing pretty well right now. I think
Hmm.
Saint Tone is doing pretty well right now in terms of viewership on Twitch. I mean, Stoops is doing some YouTube also, but you know, his YouTube is the same as before. Nothing has changed there. But on the Twitch, I believe that he's doing really well. He put in the effort. He was, you know, invited to the thing with the official Rostark. You
Hmm.
know, you're
Hmm.
on Twitch. You're a nice guy. So you know, many people have
Did they
had
not invite you to that, by the way, Sywo? Or did you just
no, no, no.
reject it? Or
No, I didn't reject. No, so they have a very Twitch-centered
oh,
policy
that's
in
right.
that
You don't
case.
stream on Twitch. Jesus, I'm so
No.
stupid. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
no, no. Yeah,
yeah,
it's fine. So they wanted only Twitch people in
yeah.
general, and overall they just wanted Twitch people. The only reason why I was invited to the first thing that I was invited before before the release, I played with Sci-Fi and Cat,
Yeah.
is because Saint Tone couldn't make it. That's the only reason, right?
Really?
Yeah, yeah, they didn't actually invite me like as a number one choice. They invited me because Saint Tone said no. So if Saint Tone said no, at that point I was the second choice, which was I was very grateful to be able to talk
Sure.
about Lost Ark.
Wow, I
It
had
was
no
amazing.
idea.
It was yeah. Yeah, yeah. Well, nobody had any idea, but it is what it is. Saint Tone couldn't make it because of some things that he was doing in the past, where it kind of contradicted with being live on Amazon's stream for Lost Ark. In the meantime, obviously he you know he quit his job, as you just said.
Hmm.
So now he's doing Lost Ark full time. But the numbers in terms of subscribers have actually stopped. As many, almost as many subscribers every one of my videos in the past 2 weeks is gaining, almost as many it's losing. It's literally minus subscribers
You
for videos.
wow, I'm
Yeah,
glad you said that because like it's the same,
yeah,
same. It's like,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
it's the
yeah,
same. It's the same. It's the same for everyone.
for
It's the
sure.
same for everyone. No, nobody's gonna grow anymore. Right now, I'm looking at the Lost Ark Twitch thing, and I see
Hmm.
that Saint Tone is at 4.3. This is never gonna grow unless Lost Ark has a mega giga patch or a mega giga event, and he's gonna get
Hmm.
I don't know 6K for 2 days. I see that a person Zeal's Ambition 7.8K never gonna grow. It's only gonna grow lower. However, the ones who have made it to this particular point are going to stay at the point, because there is also always new people, as
Sure.
many as the people that are quitting. So, you know, I'm not going to go back to 50K subs, and neither is anyone. But I'm just saying there's never going to be a gigantic growth anymore, because
Yeah.
this is the max for Lost Ark in that sense. For the next game, maybe Ashes of Creation. I'm personally very interested in Archeage 2. I've said this since 2019, by the way, so I'm absolutely covered. The video is there on my channel.
Right, right.
It's
Did
not
you
my
know
yeah.
Archeage was actually the very first game I did content for? And it wasn't for the purpose of anything other than I thought I was good at PvP, so I wanted to just showcase my skills. So I edited a video and uploaded it on YouTube, and it was the game that actually got me to create a Twitch channel. Again, with no ambitions or anything other than to just, you know, try to just show myself off, I guess. But yeah,
Hmm.
our original art, not Unchained, but like back in the day, the original Archeage. I thought that was to this day, and I love Lost Ark, but to this day, the best experience that I've ever had with a video game online RPG is definitely is a vanilla Archeage. That game, I will never forget the experiences that I had in that game. It really felt like at the time a very polished MMO that had a great combat system. I loved the classes, but like what you did in the game felt like the real world. It's like you were gonna make
Yeah.
gold and you were gonna get ahead
Yeah.
if you were fucking smart. You
Yeah.
could 200 IQ plays. Like one of the things that we did, by the way, Sywo, one of the things that we did, me and my friends, we strategically bought land or got land in a
Yeah.
certain area that had certain trade packs. And what we did is we contacted someone from the other faction because the trade packs from their faction were more valuable. So what we did is we actually timed it and contacted them so that we traded packs with each other safely and then transported them. And we were like min-maxing money that way, like we were trying to be clever about it. And then other people were like, oh man, if I'm doing this, I do this, I invest this is the return. I loved that in that game. It
Yes.
was
Yes. And
unbelievable.
the fact also to add to what you were saying, on top of the land, on top of the packs, on top of the sea, the fact that sort of everyone had the same chance,
Yeah,
that for me was very attractive in Archeage when it was released, by the way, not now with the pay to win
yeah.
or a year later. When it was released, it was really nice, and it had some of these interesting systems. Unfortunately, I quit after 3 months, because 3 months into the game, I played Archeage. I showed it on my channel, not
Hmm.
when I played it initially, because I quit too fast, but later on in Unchained. They added 3 months into the game. They added Thunderstruck 3 in the cash
Yeah,
shop,
in the catch.
and that was dumb. That was
That was
dumb.
the big one.
Th-
That was the
yeah,
first major step to the death of the game.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That Thunderstruck tree was really important. It was such an interesting grind and such an interesting mechanic in the game that
Yeah.
connected you to a lot of wealth. And yeah, it was then in the cash shop. And at that point, I thought, I'm already playing a pay-to-win game. At that point, Aion was pretty pay-to-win. I'm not gonna continue playing another pay-to-win game that kinda doesn't necessarily all that much look much better than Aion, and the classes are sort
Sure.
of kind of the same. It was, for me, it was just a simple choice of which pay to win game do I want
Do
to
you want
play,
to
and I thought,
play?
hey,
Yeah.
go,
Mm.
yeah, go to Aeon. Lost Ark, however, is much different, and I stuck to Lost Ark because it's just a fantastic experience. On top of the fact that the combat is amazing, the classes are amazing, and that
Hmm.
they care so much about their game. It's just a very well taken care of game. Granted, pay to win if you want to, but at least it doesn't necessarily force you into paying to win. It has also parts of it that are not pay to win, like the PvP system, which for me is very interesting.
Yeah.
And the places where you can pay to win, which is enchanting, or sorry, honing your
Honing. Right.
your PvE gear, then these places are, as you can see, they're striving to let everyone get there normally, or at least maybe with a little bit small, tiny, I don't know, $20 a month investment, as opposed to encouraging whaling. And whoever's gonna whale is gonna whale in Lost Ark because it allows that, and it's very tempting, and people do it, and I'm glad, because that's how they make the big bucks. But you have a choice, and the choice is there. I chose the choice of not depositing real money for gear. Um, I'd actually do something else. And just to answer your question, because I
Hmm.
haven't actually managed to finish, when you ask me, why am I still here, or what has
Sure.
happened
Yeah.
throughout the years.
Mm.
Eventually, right now, we got to a point where um, I'm personally, I was always very happy where I was. After a couple of months of playing Lost Ark, I started to be just happy playing Lost Ark. I didn't really care about anything else. So the content that I made was just stuff that made me have fun. And I think this is crucial in playing any MMO, right? Unless you get mega lucky and you're like some sort of a, I don't know, ex-WoW player, and you got a lot of success because the game was gigantic. And you were also obviously an interesting person. You were diligent. You were putting in the hard work. All of these things that everyone is doing, right? But I think very important is to like the game. Right now, I'm just there, not growing, not going down either. It's just a sort of a stable position, and I'm so happy to finally be a player in Lost Ark. This just makes me really happy. Quite frankly, I'm just gonna be really
Hmm.
honest. Since this show is really brutal, sort of like Hell's Kitchen, right? I'm just gonna be really happy. Since Lost Ark came out, I actually had thoughts of just quitting altogether the YouTube thing and just being a player in Lost Ark,
Really?
having fun. Yeah, just leaving everything aside. It just crossed my mind really fast, and then it came out and it left me. So obviously, I'm not gonna quit anytime in the long distance future. But I
Hmm.
had this thought just because I'm enjoying so much to finally be a player. For me, I never saw myself as a player in my 3 years in Korea. I couldn't even
Hmm.
show my main account on videos or on streams because every time I did do that at the beginning, I lost those accounts like in a matter of weeks.
Are you
Um,
serious?
yeah, yeah. But I mean, I
Wow.
right now I'm on my fourth account because the first two were banned. The one I started with and I created videos with got banned like in a matter of months, right? Luckily, I wasn't that popular like other PoE or Diablo streamers that were playing Lost Ark with these purchased accounts from New Gameway, and they got banned like in a matter of days. I wasn't that popular. Nobody was really watching me. So because of that, I lasted a couple of months, which in hindsight was even worse than lasting a couple of days
Yeah.
because in these months I was able to put in some time and passion into my characters, and I had a pretty decent PvP rank in my first season there, which to me was a big pride thing. Um, but then it got banned, and then I started another account all the way from the beginning, and at the start of the game you don't really feel that bad. I started another class. It helped me redecide on my
Hmm.
classes, get to know more. And then now I'm on my third account, final account, which I never showed in any of my YouTube videos or my streams, simply because I just didn't want to get it banned because it's a decent item level. Also, it's 1510, and I put in a lot of effort and hard work there,
Wow.
and also some money. To be fair with you, I deposited on the Korean version.
Good for you. Well,
Yeah.
listen, Sywo, by the way, if it does get banned, you want to continue playing on KR, let me know because I can if you use one of my IDs, it can't get banned because it's an actual ID tied to my
Yeah, but
personal thing. So,
yeah, well, yeah, yeah, and I also didn't have any Korean friends, right? But
yeah,
what do you
yeah.
mean your ID? But these accounts are purchased from New Gameway,
No, no, no. I
not
I live in Korea, so I have an ID and everything. So, one ID you can have 5 accounts that are made legally, that you can use across different people. Like for example, if
right.
my mom, if my my mom could create five accounts that 5 different people can use. So anytime that your account gets locked out, I would get a verification and I would just unlock it through my phone. So yeah.
Right, but how can you unlock it through your phone when it's already created with another phone, another serious
Oh no, no, I'm
social
saying
security?
like if you did it through me, it would have to be a fresh account. Yeah, it wouldn't be the account that you
Ah,
have.
shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
fucking hell no.
yeah.
To go all the
Yeah.
way to holy shit. Do you know how many daily login events I had to do in order to get, because
Yeah,
as a as
exactly.
as a Westerner, I didn't really feel that motivated to deposit so much real money
Hmm.
just in order to get myself to 1500. So you had to this is years worth of
Mm.
work and
Yeah, when you said
events and
15 something, I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But I thought I would, on stream while it's all public, I thought I would still extend the courtesy to you if
yeah,
you ever
yeah.
wanted to.
Yeah, yeah. No, I haven't logged into my Korean account in months. As I said, I'm so demotivated to even think about my Korean account or to look at their website
Yeah.
like I used to do before. Everything was bookmarked for my videos, for my news and stuff. I was checking every day their events and their stuff. Now I just want to be a player. And
Yeah.
the reason why I said that I felt like, just quitting YouTube altogether is because I'm so happy to finally work on my account. Every bit of combat XP and every bit
Right.
of account level and every I know item level that I get is such a rewarding experience.
Because it's
I cannot
yours.
tell
It
you how
feels like it's yours.
it's
Man,
mine.
you sound
Yes,
like such a gamer right now. You know what I mean? Like such an authentic gamer right now. It's fantastic to hear. That's
I'm
good for
I'm
you.
happy.
Yeah.
No, no, I'm happy. I'm happy to finally have the opportunity to play because initially I was also region locked, right? They completely
Yes.
forgot about Estonia.
I
So
forgot
yeah,
about Estonia. Were you ever consider is Romania with one of the countries that can play, or
yeah, yeah, yeah,
were you
yeah,
ever
yeah. It's a
did you ever were you ever considering like should I move back to Romania with my wife? Like should I have that discussion with my wife?
Yeah, well,
You
we
did,
always talk about that. We
yeah.
always talk about that, but not for Lost Ark, not for, because of Lost. What I did was I actually went back to Romania because I am in fact Romanian. I have a credit card there, I have
Hmm.
ID, I have address, I have everything that I need. So I actually went back to Romania at one point when I found out I was region locked in Estonia, and I created there. I created two different accounts
Sure.
for
Okay.
Lost Ark. I purchased a couple of founders packs and I still have them, right? I don't play them because I play my main Steam account right now for Lost Ark,
Hmm.
which is with Estonia as a country. But yeah, hey, listen, if Saint Own can play from Korea, if you can play, I don't know, are you based in the US or Korea? Anyway, there's so many other players that are from Korea. Koleveri is also in Indonesia, and he's playing Lost Ark in the West, which he shouldn't. It's illegal, but they're like the biggest, one of the biggest, streamers there
Yes.
is playing
Yeah.
Lost Ark. So anyway,
Yeah.
there's a way to play it,
Yeah.
and
I
it's
don't. I don't think like see that's the thing, right? Like because like you said, Saint is in Korea. I'm a bad example because I have no ties or anything with 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 Amazon or Smilegate or anything like that. But like, and I don't want to say Saint is or he isn't. It's really not my place to say. But Saint, everyone knows that Saint is in Korea, right? So like,
Of
I.
course.
I don't know if it is it illegal to actually play from a different country. I thought it was like region locked in the sense that like you're just the account was unable to be made, but if you have an account you can play because you don't need a
That's a
VPN to actually play it, right? Because VPN is TOS, but you don't actually need a VPN. Like I play without a VPN, straight from Korea
yeah,
to the NA servers, no
yeah, yeah.
VPN needed. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Of course, yeah. No, yeah, you're not gonna hide your location on Steam because that's TOS, like you said. But yeah, if you have an account, then sure. But to have an account,
yeah,
that means you have to have used the credentials and not for the account, right? Because you don't need to live in America to create a Steam
sure,
account based in the US. But if you want to deposit real money, which everyone is doing to a certain degree or
right,
another, then you have to have
mm,
those kind of. So
sure, sure,
anyway, it's illegal. It's not illegal. I think illegal is a very strong word. Of course, it's all good. Nobody cares. But that's
yeah,
what I'm saying.
yeah,
At the end of the day, yeah, I could have played also even from Estonia, but
yeah.
no, I was really happy, and right now I'm
Good for
just
you.
very
Yeah.
thankful too.
So
Yeah.
what about moving forward? Like are you I mean I know right now where you're at is just hey I'm just enjoying Lost Ark, great, but like what about your YouTube? I mean you're obviously continuing to upload. I saw your latest video, saw a little bit of it. Um, you're gonna obviously continue to do YouTube. What are your YouTube aspirations? You hit I see that silver button back there. Congratulations on the 100K throughout this whole process. Fantastic. What's your goal now when it comes to YouTube? Wrong finger. That's the Mokoko.
Yeah, no, that Mokoko, I received it from a Korean fan. It was such an amazing gift. So thankful. I saw that I saw that Stoops has a Mokoko like that. I'm not sure where
Yeah.
he got it from.
Didn't get it from
Um,
me. I
to,
might go Mokoko shopping soon. I'll hit you up. Maybe I can. I'll send you something, Sywo. Actually, I'll go out and say it right now. I'll buy you something. I'll buy you a little plushie if I can find the fucking store.
Yeah,
But
it
yeah.
was it was awesome. Anyway, so my plans for YouTube is to for myself to continue being a player, and just to share basically my experience, and also maybe more creative things with the people who watch me. Obviously, stuff is going to die down a little bit as we
Mm,
progress for the following weeks, and then they're gonna really stabilize because there is constant content that's coming out in Lost Ark. So the game is not just gonna plummet all the way to the ground. It's a lovely
mm-hmm.
game at the end of the day, regardless if the cash up or not. And people eventually are going to realize that, and there's gonna be many people who are going to stick to the game. So my plan is to just continue being a player basically, and share my experience, my journey with a couple of guides or a couple of more creative videos. I actually have a something that nobody watches, nobody cares about, but I really want to do it because I want to do it,
What is
and
it?
that is a housing competition that I'm holding. I'm basically
Ooh.
visiting people's strongholds, and I already have one episode of it. The lowest views I've ever gotten in the past 3 years on this particular video, but I don't care at all because I'm visiting people's strongholds and I'm reviewing them basically. I'm talking about what they have,
That's
I'm making fun of
awesome.
them.
That's
Yeah,
awesome. Really? That's
it's not item level content. I get it, right? I could also I don't know, make content how I got to 1400 free to play. That's a very catchy title, right? People
sure.
want to know. But I'm purposely staying away from getting involved into this crap that is currently happening in Lost Ark because I think it's not representative of the game. I think people have good reasons to talk about the crap, and that's fine.
Mm,
It's nice to speak out, but I don't want to be part of the soil because this is never going to change. The
mm,
cash
mm,
shop
mm.
is never going to go away. The currency exchange is never, ever going to go away. It's always going to be here, and we cannot change it. The more we talk about it, the more we just create ourselves bad blood, right? I don't even care about the game's reputation or anything. It's just, anyway, so this stronghold competition, this housing competition, I'm
Yeah.
actually about to host episode 2 this weekend. And what I decided was because I want to give like really good prizes, right? I'm not sure how much 100,000 gold means right now on the NA servers where I'm guessing that you're
Oh,
playing, but
yeah,
on
yeah.
on EU, that's a lot of
It
money.
is.
It's
It's
actually the
still a lot of
equivalent
money.
of maybe 500 euros. So I'm actually giving away this amount of gold this weekend. I've created a character on Zinnervale server, which is a different server than I play, and I got people to from Zinnervale to come to apply and add me to friends list so I can visit their plots. And I'm gonna go visit their plots, have fun, talk about them, yell, I don't know, whatever, be impressed
That's
on their
awesome.
rapport and stuff. Yeah. So, and I also decided that every one of these stronghold competitions is actually going to be a sponsored video because I generally don't take sponsors. I'm
Mm-hmm.
pretty sure you also receive constantly emails, some
Mm-hmm.
of them better offers than others. Obviously, you're not going to take a crypto, you're not going to take a gold selling partnership offer.
Oh, I am.
But
I'm gonna be selling gold tomorrow. That's my next video.
there was a guy I saw a guy. He had a really bad guide on YouTube. I think the
Uh-huh.
guide was on what's good to craft, and he was
Yeah.
just like so completely wrong. But at the beginning of his video,
It
he
was a
was
gold
promoting
selling.
this yeah, gold seller
Yeah.
ad.
I don't
It was
know.
just so weird.
What
Yeah.
is like yeah, yeah. What speaking on the sponsor, I noticed like you don't do sponsored segments. Well, not that I in none of the videos I've seen does like
I did,
yeah.
yeah, I did. I last year I did. I think I did um, 4 or 5
Mm-hmm.
Raid Shadow Legends in a row because
Sure.
I wanted to upgrade my stuff. I got the camera,
Yeah.
I got this mic, I got the stuff to record on. So I did 5 of these in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that I didn't do any. I did one for Acer many months ago,
Yeah,
also last year
there's
I
some
believe.
pretty good ones. Is that deliberate? What do you feel like that was affecting your growth, or did you just not have time, or what was the decision making? Obviously, the
Yeah,
gold selling shit, like I mean, that you don't need to explain that, but like the ones that are actually pretty good, what's the logic behind that, if you don't mind me asking?
um, how can I explain this? I'm not sure actually how to explain this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what's going on. If I say it as it is, it's gonna sound really bad. It's gonna sound
Okay.
really bad. The thing is with these companies is that they don't pay enough. And I
Mm.
know that I sound right now like an idiot, privileged prick,
No, not at
right?
all.
Because
No, no, no.
no, no, but because
Sure.
like
Okay.
they ask you to talk about their company for like a minute, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want to do that in exchange of 1 grand while other people are dying of starvation, right? So it's horrible. If you really get the picture, it's just really
That
bad.
perspective,
Uh,
right? Mm-hmm.
yeah. So anyway, I don't do very many because why don't I do very many? I have this ego, right? That I'm fine alone, and this is a really bad thing to have in life. Really, it's gonna bite you in the ass so many
Mm-hmm.
times. But this ego that I don't need anyone's help. I'm gonna do it myself. I'm gonna be, miserable for 10 years until I get to grow. But
Look at
then
his
I
face,
can
Steph.
show, yeah, I can show everyone the middle finger.
uh,
This dumb like 15-year-old mentality.
mhm, mhm.
Don't ask. I managed to get over it. In the last years, but yeah. Anyway, so I decided to take some sponsorships, right, from decent companies, I
Yeah.
believe.
Mhm.
Some, I don't know, some. Uh, Metal posters, some hair loss prevention, because they fit. And I thought that I'm gonna sponsor my housing competition and give away a huge chunk of in-game gold, by using part of the money that I get for these paid
Sure.
promotions, right?
Sure. Well,
Yeah.
that's very noble. That's very noble. And I've actually asked my community in chat quite a bit about sponsored segments, and you'd be surprised. I think like the majority of the people that I've talked to are actually pretty supportive about it. They're like, do it. I even asked about running ads on my Twitch. Vast majority, like every single person, when I was asking about what do you think about running ads on Twitch, and they're like, do it. Fucking not, do it. Not a big deal. You need to make money. We
Yeah.
understand it. And I was like, awesome. But yeah. Like there are some good ones. Like a lot of video game companies wanting you to talk about their upcoming game campaign, whatever that may be. But yeah, that's
Hmm.
interesting. What speaking of games, like what's the next game on the horizon for you? Like you're doing Lost Ark. It sounds like you're going to continue to do content as a content creator, not as a content creator first, so not as a gamer yet, but as a content creator first, YouTuber first. What are you planning on doing as the next step? Like are you planning on hopping on the wagon for another new game that comes out. Like for example, the Riot MMO is one that a lot of people are talking about in the distant future. Like, is that on your mind? Like, are you gonna eventually, pack your bags and do this whole process again for another game, or what's the deal?
Yeah, this is always a question, right, that you ask
Mm.
yourself, especially if you're in a position of a content creator. Um, because as I said, at one point you kind of get addicted to creating content, and at the same time you want to be a player, but at the same time you feel that there might be some sort of opportunity for you to to like go full time. You asked me earlier why I didn't go full time, or if I have plans to go full
Mm-hmm.
time.
Yep.
I would love to go full time, but going full time just with YouTube in the MMO scene, that's not gonna,
Yeah, it's not enough
that
money.
you cannot. You need to stream.
Yeah.
Simple as that. So if you
Yeah.
stream and also create YouTube content, then that's a good opportunity. That's, subscribers, members in my case on YouTube, and that's a good income. I can go full time, but unfortunately I can't really stream because I'm always drained of energy from the kids, and I just don't really want to recommend myself, if I'm a
Mm.
zombie, or if I don't want to, talk because I've talked all day with two kids. And it's that's why I don't do it. I'm looking forward to them growing up a little bit so I can actually go full time. This is in my absolute plan
Mm-hmm,
to start
mm-hmm.
streaming at least, I don't know, 3-4 days a week, and then have another 3 videos on YouTube. That's a 7-day commitment.
That
That's every
is.
day on the platform. That's good. But until then, I cannot stream. I can just do like hardcore YouTube, like I'm doing now. Well, hardcore as you can go in an MMO. What am I supposed to talk about? Every day a new video, how to, I don't know, how to level up to level 20. So it's a bit
Today
weird.
we talk about 21. Let's go.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly. Like a gameplay, right? Me from 20 to 21. Oh, this NPC is so beautiful. You cannot really do that. People expect
Well, you
something
could
else.
with Vicus. I think with Vicus you could.
I see. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Okay, you can look at some boobs. You can. Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. But I think in terms of games, I don't think there's gonna be ever another game that's going to give me, um, I don't know, the fulfillment that Lost Ark is currently giving
Mm.
me. Me personally, I feel that, after I've been invested in the game for so long, and it was a pretty tough journey at times to keep, cringing your teeth and pushing
Mm.
out videos for 3 years about
Oof.
nothing, about something that people don't care, about something that you don't have. Because of that, because of the harder road, now the reward is even sweeter for me.
Ah, true. Mm.
Also, not to mention the fact that it was the highlight of my gaming life was when Golden River actually said my name on the stream. It was just like, what is happening right now? And that for
That's
me was the
awesome.
biggest reward. Yeah, that was the biggest reward that I could ever get in an MMO, for the game director, to talk. I think he said that simply because I was not invited to like any of the events, because they wanted Twitch people to be there on the spot, because they had two events, right? They had this battles, and they also had the on the spot.
The
They
crown
they
event.
flew, yeah, they,
Yeah.
they flew people there
Yeah.
to the US.
I was they had contacted me, so there was like that. I was one of the people that could have potentially been on that show,
Okay.
but I told
That
them
is awesome. What happened?
if you don't get Sywo on here, I won't. And they're like, we don't want
Ah,
people from
fuck off.
Estonia.
Right,
No,
right.
no, no.
Yeah, okay,
I
okay.
did. But I'm in Korea. See, the issue with me, and I can talk about this now because it's obviously finished. But the reason why I couldn't go, the biggest reason, the absolute biggest reason, was because I live in Korea and I work for a living. I have my own business here, and for me to take time off and go to the States, it was just unrealistic. It would, first of all, I would be losing a lot of money taking that time off to go there and to do that. And number two, I would lose
Dude,
even
but
more money because of the quarantine. Yeah.
Amazon pays so well.
Hmm.
Like it's literally in the five
Yeah, but
zeros.
like even like with the money, like it's like because like what I do for real life is I have my own business, right? I have my own business here, and me being away from that business for 2 weeks, it's kind of like not exactly like, but it's relatable to being away from your kids for 2 weeks. You know what I mean? It's not
Yeah,
just
yeah.
the money that you're making for yourself or the
Yeah, yeah.
business. It's that it's the shit that I have to do to make sure that things are operating, and it just it wasn't realistic for me. I already had obligations and stuff. There's no way that I was going to be able to go.
Yeah, yeah.
um so
Yeah,
yeah.
I would have went actually. I would have went for free,
Hmm.
and not necessarily um, um, for not even for Lost Ark. I would have went for free there, not for Lost Ark, but just to meet the people that were working on
Sure.
Lost Ark. And
Absolutely.
the one thing I actually said this. Before they had this event, because people were asking me, "Oh my God, why weren't you invited to go there?" I don't know any of the streamers that were invited. Obviously, this is a business decision. They did good with promoting. I think that they did very good with promoting. I think they did a horrible job in encouraging the local community, because up to this day, the people who are subscribed to Amazon's partner program for Lost Ark have received zero. There is
Hmm.
nothing. You know how I know that? Because I already subscribed months ago during the closed beta, and we have received one email from then until now. I'm not sure if you're subscribed also. You should have
Hmm.
received this email as well. And this email was at the time when they wanted us to encourage people to go to Europe West. That's all they said.
Hmm.
And that's the one email that we received, and nothing else. So this Amazon Lost Ark partner program is really, there's nothing. There is no partner program.
Yeah.
However, to say thank you to the team that came from Korea
Yeah.
for this event,
Hmm.
that is why I would have went there for free. I would have
Sure.
went there for free as long as they pay my ticket, right? Because I don't want to
Sure.
spend money
Yeah,
on
yeah, of
flying to
course.
the US. But
Yeah.
anyway, just saying, just to say thank you for this fucking game, because I really enjoy this game. I might not be here forever, but I really enjoy it, and I have enjoyed
Mm.
it for years, and I can appreciate the work that you put into it. That's all I wanted to do. And then I can fly home. I don't need to talk about Lost Ark in the Crown event. I've talked about Lost Ark for 3 years. I don't need to do this. Anyway, but that's me. If I'm looking for other games, as I said, I would like to try Lost Ark. Sorry, Archeage 2 in Korea when that's gonna come out.
Mm.
Maybe this year they're gonna have some beta for Archeage 2.
Really?
See
Is
what they've done to the game.
that
Yeah.
early? It's supposed to be this year?
The beta is supposed to be this year, some
Really?
closed beta kind of thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn, I'm gonna have to try and
Mhm.
get into that. All right, Sywo, if I get an extra account,
Yeah.
I got you, bro.
Yeah, that would be so awesome. Yeah, definitely. Because getting accounts for beta is actually pretty difficult, almost to
Mm.
impossible, because it's not like a regular account. And also Ashes of Creation. I think Ashes of Creation is actually one of these games that is going to break all of the records of gaming in general. Um, um, so I think it's going to be absolutely gigantic. And I also think that Ashes of Creation. Um, I think that is going to be the biggest thing that the MMO players have ever seen or played in
Really?
their lives.
I,
Yeah,
I
I think it's going to be gigantic.
I think it would be I think it would be very naive to think that it wasn't going to be the game when it launches, you know, just like how New World was the game when it launched and Lost Ark right now is the game upon launching. It's going to be the game. Whether it sustains and whether it sustains and stays the game and becomes the next WoW or becomes the next Final Fantasy or the next Elder Scrolls, I have no idea. But what do you think? Do you think it's gonna be like the next massive game that is gonna like be like the next WoW?
Yeah,
I have a feeling it's
and
gonna
no doubt.
flop for some reason. I have a feeling it's gonna
Yes.
flop.
I felt like that also a couple of
Mm-hmm.
years ago when I actually discussed New World and also Ash of Creation alongside with it. But seeing how much time they take to do everything, and seeing the fact that even during COVID they've pushed forward with the game, and the fact that they're so confident and dedicated to creating a proper product. And also this guy that's leading the game, this is a very smart guy.
Mm-hmm.
In that sense, he's always following everything, he's always everywhere. He is for Archeage Unchained's release, he's talking about it, he's watching it. He is for New World, he is for Lost Ark, not pro, but he's there invested in how is it
Mm-hmm.
going. And I think that he is actually taking notes on what these games did good, how the community responded to X and Y game. And I think his game is actually going to be an absolute blockbuster. Like, whoa, back in the days, nothing compared to Ashes of Creation when it's going to come out. I mean, think about
Mm-hmm.
it like this. New World, New World, a game that's, I'm sorry to say it. I've played New World for a few hours, um, but New World is just, I don't know, something that you can develop in a good engine in a garage, in terms of what it
Mm.
has in the game and what are you going to do in that particular game. And it had a million players interested in trying it. These days the market has changed, the community has changed, the ads have changed, the way people talk about things has changed. Everyone is desperate for another great MMO. Looking at the Lost Ark numbers, for example, 1.3 something million concurrent at launch. um, I believe Ashes of Creation is going to have close to 2 million, in my opinion,
Mm.
because people have tried this, they've played it, they saw that they didn't necessarily like it. But I think this guy from Ashes of Creation,
Mm.
Steven, is actually going to do stuff that pleases this gigantic crowd that's right now unsatisfied with the content in New World, unsatisfied with the pay to win in Lost Ark, unsatisfied with the boringness and shittiness of World of Warcraft, unsatisfied with the grindiness of BDO, I think he is going to succeed in capturing this gigantic audience, and he's
Mm.
taking things so slow. It's been like already like what, 3 4 years since Ashes of Creation was, let's say, first heard
Mm-hmm.
of. And
Mm-hmm.
I get it, it takes like, I don't know, 7 years to get out a proper game. Mm, but if he doesn't fail with combat, yeah, I think he's going to do good things. Right now Ashes of Creation is in this baby stage where they're just showing us glimpses of this and that. um, but I think if they're gonna take a bit more time with it, they're gonna just have a masterpiece because there's so many people hungry
Mm.
for for
For
for
that
a
MMO,
for an
yeah, and it's
for that
also
MMO.
and
Yeah.
it's a 3D MMO at that. So I was actually talking about this on the previous podcast. I can't remember if it was with Stoops or Savix. I think it was with Savix, but apparently, and I'm pretty sure I've heard this, but I can't remember how validated it was. But apparently, the Steven, the guy that's running it, he is someone that originally played Archeage, vanilla Archeage. I don't know. Have you heard of that story? Like who he was in that game?
Actually, no, I haven't really, let's say, kept up with Ashes of Creation, every news, every bit
Mm-hmm,
of
mm-hmm,
customization. I just seen like when they released recently a trailer about Unreal Engine 5 or something, they
mm-hmm.
graphical update that they want to do.
Sure.
Um, yeah,
Yeah,
but
he
yeah.
he he apparently was this guy named, and I think the name was Sorcerer, and he was like a very notorious guild leader. He had like a cult-like following in Archeage, and if this was really him, then I can vouch that he definitely had a cult-like following. Like his guild was like the biggest guild in the West faction for original Archeage, for vanilla Archeage, and he had a massive following, and he was like one of the players that everyone was talking about, like on the forums. You know, some loved him, some hated him, and he was extremely pay to win. RMT, definitely RMT'd for some stuff. But he was very charismatic, and I'm not trying to say
Yeah.
this in a bad light or a good light. I'm just saying that that's what he was, and I know if that was really him, then he definitely has at the very least the experience because he's a gamer, right? Like he was like the guild leader of that massive guild. So I think that experience would like the fact that he is a gamer, because I think it's important that the person that's running the show for this for these MMOs, I think it is important that that person is a gamer and has experience with the games. You
These
know,
days, yeah, and
yeah.
also being as charismatic as he is,
Mm-hmm.
he's very like a confident guy. He doesn't seem to give a shit about most things. All of these things are things that work right now.
Sure.
And if you want to believe it or not, the the large majority of people in today's world actually respond very well to clickbait plus good content inside
Mm-hmm.
that clickbait. They don't respond well to shit content in a clickbait. But
Mm-hmm.
if you have a good game behind your fuzzy personality and all of this extra things that he's doing, getting big streamers over, talking to them, being invited to all sorts of podcasts
Mm-hmm.
to talk about his game. This is going to be a gigantic game, and it would be actually a shame not to give it a try. I'm not saying
Sure.
that you should abandon Lost Ark. And
Mm-hmm.
right now, I'm thinking about my next big move in my YouTube career. I'm not actually, but it would be quite a shame to not try Ashes of
For
Creation
sure.
and play it for anyone in the world. Same as it's quite a shame not to try Lost Ark,
Sure.
in my opinion. It's a really well-made game. No,
Yeah,
that's just the truth.
I completely agree. I mean, I think I'm definitely I think the vast majority of in chat here is going to definitely try. X's in chat if you guys are going to at least try Ashes of Creation when it comes out. Let's be real here. I'm definitely going to try it. Trying it and
Yeah,
being like, hey, I'm going to commit to it. It's a different story, as you can see how here it
yeah,
comes in the X's. Everyone's going to at least try it. The
yeah.
game that I'm most excited for, I would say semi excited for the game that I'm definitely looking forward to trying and checking out, that I've got my eyes on, is definitely Ashes of Creation. I can't say that I'm excited for it though, and that's why I kind of opened that sentence with semi excited. I'm not really excited. I am a little bit excited about the Riot MMO though, just because again the people that are running it is big, right? So it's really important. I'm looking for, and I have no idea what that is going to entail, what that game is going to be like. But I feel like if there's any company that's going to make the next big MMO that will that will become the next WoW when it comes to like the power ranking of MMOs, current power ranking, not historically, but currently, I think it's going to be that company. I really do. I think it's
Mm.
going to be the Riot company.
They
So yeah.
they make good stuff. In
Mm.
general, it's proper stuff for today's people. I mean, there's a reason why League of Legends is actually more popular than Dota. Similar games, Dota
Yes.
came first, League of Legends came
Yes.
second. And I'm just gonna be fair here. I apologize, please don't kill me. But I think Dota is a more polished game in terms of um, I don't know. Dota has more of a Nordic style. It's a little bit more serious. Same as sort of if you compare Lost Ark with other MMOs right now, Lost Ark just has that little bit of crispiness
That
in the
polish.
feel. Exactly, that
Yeah.
that polish, that shine in the feel of the game and how it
Mm.
looks. It's not that it's Korean. It's just that it just has that compared to other MMO. The same goes with Dota, comparing it to League of Legends. I've played Dota a lot. I've played League of Legends a little bit, and League of Legends is more cartoony. I'm
Yeah.
no,
It
I don't know.
is.
It's just
It
how
is
it is.
cartoony.
No,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
They
but,
literally
but
made a
they
cartoon out of it because it was so cartoony.
exactly. But that series, by the way, every single one of my friends is crazy about it,
Yeah.
including my wife. She doesn't watch animes. She's not that kind of a person, and she
Mm.
doesn't play League of Legends nor Dota. But she said that after watching the League of Legends thing, she said you have to watch it. And I said, dude, I'm not gonna watch an anime first of all, and second of all, something that's related to a game that I like the opposition better. But she kept insisting, and she still insists up until today that I have to watch at least the first episode. It's such a great story and a well-made thing. She said it's not even connected. Let's say you shouldn't even connect it to the game itself.
The
So if they
opposition.
manage to pull
Hmm.
out a good series for their game, and also they have like very successful games in general,
Uh-huh.
right? They
Well,
have the PUBG, I believe.
are you looking forward to the cartoon series from Lost Ark? Because that's what I think in the Loa on they were
No,
talking about doing like a cartoon
yeah.
type of thing for that. No,
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I cannot get excited for that. And if I cannot get
really?
excited, I cannot do it. Let other
Why?
people be excited. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I
Why are
don't
you
know.
not excited
I
for
don't
it?
know. I don't know.
It's your game.
Yeah, well, they also released the VR version of Lost Ark. I watched the trailer. It was interesting to see a soul fist up in the air and channeling the ball and looking down at the enemies like you would imagine. It was really cool, but I cannot get excited for that either. I don't know. I
But
if I
that
if I'm
was
not
an April Fool's joke, I think, wasn't it? The VR
was it?
thing.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure
Luckily, I
that's.
didn't.
Hmm.
I
I didn't
see.
watch all the videos, but I think I heard about it. No, I watched a little bit of it, but I think it was their April Fool's thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. My bad, guys in the chat. Yeah, it's not anime. Sorry. Yeah, that's not an anime series. My bad. I apologize. See how bad I am at talking about these things that I just don't watch. I'm calling this series anime when it has nothing to do with an anime. Anyway, yeah, my bad.
No worries. So hold on, just real quick, because you're talking about clickbait earlier. Let's talk a little bit about clickbait before we move on to a different subject here. With Since we're
Holy
on the
shit, there's
topic
more
of,
subjects. We've been 2 hours and 12
I
minutes.
know well, I mean, it's not that. I mean, I do have some talking points, but like for my podcast, it's just free talk, so
Right.
it's whatever. But yeah, like while we're on the subject of content in clickbait, okay, I think you said it very well. Like having a title that has clickbait but has good content within it is like the best recipe. It's funny because um I got very fortunate because Asmongold watched one of my videos on his stream and it really blew up my channel, my YouTube channel. It really exploded. At the time, I was growing at a very rapid pace, as a lot of content creators were, on YouTube, that was doing, during the launch phase of Lost Ark. And I think I took my channel somewhere from like 10 to 15K to 33K. I was at 33K. And then Asmon watched one of my videos, and I shit you not, literally after watching it on his live stream, because he just so happened to watch it on the day that he peaked over 400,000 concurrent viewers on his Twitch. Um, my channel went from 33K to 55 to 50,000, 50 or 55,000 subs on YouTube. It really exploded it. And what he was
Yeah, very
looking,
nice.
he was looking at the video that I had made, and it was like the first real clickbait title that I went with, because like all my titles before, I didn't do clickbait. It was just informative guide type of
I'm
stuff.
gonna
Hmm.
I'm gonna judge your clickbait rating right now. I'm gonna you go on. Yeah, I'm just
Okay,
YouTubing you
okay,
right now.
all right. I don't know how good my I don't know how good my clickbait game is, but that video, my clickbait game was good. Like I was pretty happy with that because it was the video where I think the title was "I just saved you thousands of gold. You're welcome." Dot dot dot. You're welcome. And he watched that video and he mentioned it. He mentioned it because at the time before he watched it, I had like 300,000 views, 300,000 plus views on the video, and before that video, I had like no clickbait titles, and he mentioned that he's like, I love how this guy went from like, good informative content with innocent titles or whatever, and some do good, some do bad, but then he decides to change it up and goes with this fucking like arrogant, cocky Chad clickbait title, and it blows up. It does like over 300K, and then he watches it too, and it was like it's so true. That's like my first personal experience with holy shit, like this, like the clickbait stuff is. It's like you don't want to lose the integrity of your channel. Obviously, you don't want to be like one of those channels where it's like, I can't believe Asmongold says he's quitting Lost Ark, and then it literally has nothing to do with that. You don't want to lose integrity with that, but you want to try and get away with as clickbaity as you can. Like, what are your thoughts on the whole clickbait stuff?
I think you have to have some balls to be able to pull out such things. I think you have to have some thick skin in order to do a clickbait title. By clickbait, I don't mean something bad necessarily. Like clickbait is not necessarily negative unless the content is shit in it. However,
Sure.
by clickbait, I mean a very attractive title, something that even a person who's not interested in maybe the game that you're playing or that particular topic would still click that video to see what you have to. I think it's what you need to do
Part of the
these days
game.
on YouTube in order to grow. And surprisingly enough, what am I supposed to tell you guys? If you're clicking on a video of mine that's titled "The State of Lost Ark: 3 dots," more than you're clicking on a video that's titled "I'm having so much fun right now," then I'm just gonna do the shitty State of Lost Ark from now on, because that it is what it is. Like, listen, you want to feel happy with yourself. You want to feel that you've done well. You want to feel that after putting in an hour and a half recording something and then another 2 hours maybe editing something, you want to feel that you've given up that 3-4 hours for that video for a good purpose, because
Yeah.
otherwise I could have went somewhere in town for a jacuzzi bath and feel very happy. So if you have like these regular titles that nobody clicks on, and yet you've worked on the video for quite a while, and the information is actually proper and not just one bit of information for 10 minutes, then yeah. But I think Canon, yeah, you're actually you're doing good. Okay, you're not yet at Stoops level in terms of clickbait.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah, but you're going there. Yeah,
I'm
like
getting there.
like shit. The most important. Can you make me full screen, by the way, in this
um,
thing, or it's just
I
locked?
can't. I can't. Yeah, I cannot make it full screen
You
here,
cannot.
but
Okay, never mind. Because what I can do is I can actually share
uh huh.
my screen,
Oh,
so then you
okay.
can
Yeah, yeah.
I
There
I
we
can
go.
I can I
Yeah,
can
yeah,
judge you,
yeah,
but people don't see. It's really small.
yeah.
Anyway, doesn't matter. So look at this. The most important step to upgrading gear. Like, holy cow, what could you possibly talk there? I haven't clicked it, but this is a great title, right? A great title.
Uh,
Ultimate class guide plus builds everything you need to know. Holy shit, this one's a banger. 576K views. No wonder. The #1 free-to-play player debunks stuff. Who the fuck might that be? I see Kanima if I hover over it. Right. Okay. So see, yeah,
Hey,
you're good. You're
you
good.
didn't even click it. You had to click it to find out who it was. You know, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
No.
Simon, let me tell you something. I owe
Secret,
you.
dude, secret launch plans revealed. Holy shit! Why didn't I think of these? Who is this in the secret launch plans? Who the fuck is this here?
Oh my
Who is Wogsies?
god.
Wogsies. I bet he's a nice guy, but hey, this is nice. This is nice.
I'm
Yeah, this is
crying.
nice.
Listen, Silo,
Yeah.
you know, I got to give you a little credit. You know why? Because when I was getting into the Lost Ark scene, and I was planning this well ahead of the launch, and I knew that the launch was the big one, right? And I actually prepared this a little bit for the beta, and I released a mini one for the beta, but for the launch, because my approach was a little bit different from yours. I decided that I wanted to do content creating, and I was going to use Lost Ark as that gateway. And what I did is I went to your channel, and I wanted to see what videos that you had the most success with. You along with other creators, but you were the first. And I went to your channel, and I noticed, I'm not even looking at this, this is as I'm going. I'm pretty sure it is. Your most viewed video. Do you know what your most viewed video, your highest viewed video is on your channel?
I don't know. Probably some class
Yes,
guide.
it's a class guide video. Yeah. So when I looked at that and I saw that, hey, like this is where Sywo's channel has been getting a lot of views. And as someone trying to get to the space, I was like, okay, well, you know, I already know, everyone knows tier lists do well. So that was, you know, obviously a given. But like the class guide one, I was like, okay, well, you know, that makes sense. A lot of people want to know what classes they're going to play. I'm going to try and prepare a class guide video for launch when everybody's looking for it. And I just felt like that if I do that, I just got to try and make a class guide video that was better than everyone else's. But I drew inspiration from your channel with that, and that was what inspired me to make that ultimate class guide video that I really, you know, hit the home run with that video. But the first step to that was when I went and checked out your channel. I was like, what? Let me see. What is this guy? Like, what is this guy? This guy's got, at the time, I think he had 70K subs, and I was like, what is he doing? What's his most viewed video that I can kind of maybe, you know, use to inspire me to figure out what I need to put out there. So I definitely owe you some credit there. So to that, I thank you.
We are no, you don't owe me anything. We all, I think that everyone takes inspiration from other players. I was actually, quite frankly, when you started, you're a new frog. You know what I'm saying? For me, you're a Mokoko.
Yeah, absolutely.
In Lost Ark, I don't even know exactly when you popped off, but I think you popped off. I don't know. By now, it's been over a year, I'm guessing. But in terms of a Korean release, you weren't there. Russian release, you weren't there. You were doing some other stuff before that, some other catchy. So when you came on the scene, I actually, I was actually watching the content that you do, and I was like so jealous of how good you are with these interviews, and also mega jealous I was, and also actually very appreciative of your tier list with the Korean players. Those interviews, I found them like a gorgeous content. So I really appreciated that.
Thank you. I
It was
appreciate it.
very nice.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, like I drew inspiration from your channel with the class guide, and tier lists always work, right? So I was like, okay, these are the two things that I'm going to do to try and get discovered in this community. So when it comes to tier lists, I was like, nobody's going to give a fuck what I have to say about PvP. Like, who the fuck am I? You just said, this is Mokoko. Who the hell? So I was like, all right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to find the best fucking Korean player that I can, and I'm gonna get him to post a tier list, because there was no tier lists at the time, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be a gold mine. Who's not going to watch this video that's into the PvP? And then after that worked, my friend Waldo, who I always fucking pick on, I love picking on him, but my friend Waldo was like, hey, you should do something for PvE as well. Why don't you interview the biggest whale in Korea? I was like, that's a fucking fantastic idea. This is the only time I'm ever gonna say something good about Waldo, because I meme on him. I meme on him all the time. I bully him. We bully him all the time, because to be fair, he bullies us all the time off stream. So it's that little thing. Shout out to my boy Waldo. But he told me that. I was like, that's a great idea. So that was like my second video. So I had a PvP one, and then the PvE one was I'm interviewing the biggest whale in Lost Ark, and and went that route. So that was how I got my start in the Lost Ark. But one of the things that I like about content creating is trying to figure out that way, right? Trying to figure out, hey, what am I gonna do here to try and get discovered? What content do I feel like people are gonna be watching and looking for and searching and clicking? And I like, for me, that's a big appeal with content creating, and one of the main reasons why I enjoy doing it so much. So yeah, but I definitely have to give you credit, because your channel was, I went to your channel often for analytics, looking at what kind of stuff that you're uploading, and I was
Yeah, not so good analytics, unfortunately, on my channel. I tend to do this combination of I don't know, just regular boring titles, and that actually talk about stuff that I'm passionate about, or stuff that I want to talk about myself, and also a combination of these clickbaity things. I see that I see that you're also doing, like, for example, this very recent video, Striker PvE guide. This is a good title. This is something that's not gonna catch any traction ever. However, it's nice to have these videos also amongst many other videos that discuss controversial problems and stuff. Even though not many people are gonna watch it, and you're gonna feel maybe a little bit demotivated to keep posting these kinds of things, and you want to be like I don't know, Asmongold or whoever, just post like this very, very concentrated clickbaity stuff that gets you lots of views, and that's a way of doing it if you want to go there. But I feel personally that if you're playing a game, I think it's super important for you to be happy playing that game, and also to discuss things that make you happy. And because eventually, at the end of the day, the audience that you get cannot be a fake audience. You cannot fake it forever. You have to be yourself, the way you want to be. I mean, I got naked in front of camera doing my Terminator video. This is who I want to be. Some people found it cringe. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't like penis naked, but like like. Yeah, no, but like
the way you said your delivery with that, the way you said it was just so funny. I'm so fucking.
Yeah, no, I have a video where I'm
Can
like half
it?
naked.
Can we see it? I'd love to see it. Hold on, I didn't see that one. Hold on, let me pull this up.
Yeah, anyway,
I can't share.
so
Go ahead.
This is from the past, right? It's called something with Terminator. Terminator comes to warn Lost Ark, and I did a whole bit. It took me like literally 7 days of editing this video every day for about 3 to 4 hours, because I actually needed to learn how to edit in this one of the Adobe tools, which I don't use anymore. But it had a lot of editing in it, with the Terminator screen and the whole thing. Like, I saw it. Anyway, it was a shitty. It was a shitty video.
Lost Ark.
Yes.
Warren's.
Yeah. No, that's a just like a bad video that took so much time. Yeah.
This is fantastic. We'll throw links in chat here in a sec, and I'll throw it in the description for YouTube. This is great. Can we watch a little bit of this, Sywo? Is that okay?
Yeah, feel free. You can turn on the sounds also.
You guys can hear the sounds, right? I'm waiting for it.
No, John, this is not on me, this is on you. You were the one who decided not to give the fans any news for almost a year. You were the one who was the game director back in 2021. Not me, this is not on me. Look what's outside, John. And think again, we're hiding here from all of the Diablo 4 drones, Ashes of Creation drones, Aion drones. I mean, what am I supposed to do, John? I'm just looking for solutions here.
God damn it, Jim. What would you have me do? I was just following orders from above myself.
how was I supposed to know that not giving them any news is gonna make some people not be interested anymore in the game when it comes?
Yeah.
I think it's too late.
Guys, I think we have a serious
What's up?
situation outside. The drones are swarming.
There we
There's
go.
T-800s all over the place.
Yeah, we already know that.
I think I don't like to say this, but I think the only option we have right now is to send him back into the past to warn us of the things that we could have done better to prevent all of
I
this.
think that he's right, and I think
You
that
are a phenomenal
we
actor.
should send in the Terminator, so that
God.
okay, so that
Okay, let's do it.
we'll make things right.
What an actor. Oh my gosh, here we go. Here we go. Yes! How did I not see this video? How have I not seen this video? Looking good, Sywo. Let's go.
Oh, come on.
You are looking good.
Look at that stupid hair stripe on my chest.
I
Jesus.
love it. I wouldn't have it any other way. You're breaking your wife might be jealous. You're breaking hearts all over the world right now. You're gonna have women flocking. That's the problem.
I need your jacket, pants, boots, and Lost Ark account.
You
Lost Ark.
forgot to say please. Dude. Okay, fine. Okay, here's my jacket, man. Here you go. No problems here, man. Hey, John, how are you?
Oh, hey man. All good. Just reading this book here. We're just taking a break.
Hey, I wanted to ask you, how are we looking with this Lost Ark release for the West? We took over the game August last year, and fans want some news.
Yeah, Jim. About Lost Ark. So I know that we took over the game a year ago, and you know it's ready. The game is ready, but I still think that we shouldn't give the fans any news whatsoever. Simply because we don't want them being distracted or anything like that. Just we want to work in peace, no questions asked. So focus first on New World, and then after that maybe we give these Lost Ark people something to hold on to.
Oh, okay. Because I'm just reading here. There's this YouTuber called Sywo, and he's been creating Lost Ark content for like over 2 years. And recently he makes like Backstreet Boys video covers with Lost Ark theme and so on. Really funny stuff, actually. So I thought we should get like some info out, maybe please the fans, and just until we release, anything would do.
First of all, Jim, I know you're the community manager and you know stuff. Who's Ivo? I mean, never heard of
Who's
him.
Ivo?
And second of all, we're gonna give them some news. Just a little bit later. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be people who are still gonna, yay! At any time, it's all good. So let's just wait. All in due course.
Here he is.
I have a message for John Doe.
Yeah, that's me. I'm John Doe. I'm the game director for Lost Ark UNA. Who's the message from?
It's from you, from the future. You sent me back here to warn you
Okay, go on.
that in 2021 you should give more news to the Lost Ark fans who have been waiting for years. In the future, Ashes of Creation and Diablo 4 take a
Okay.
big chunk of the market. Lost Ark can do much better
Okay.
if you give people news, hype, excitement, starting with now.
I'm gonna think about it. By the way, do you play Lost Ark? Do you have an account? Yeah. Do you wanna play?
On the 18th of April, Lost Ark is not out yet.
I mean, the game is ready. We're just not talking about it anything, but it's ready. We can just go ahead to the back office and play. We play it all day here at the office.
Sywo, this is a
Yeah,
masterpiece.
there you go.
Look at at that
There you
quality.
go.
You
Anyway, so
you need an.
you
You
know,
should have won an Oscar for that.
yeah, anyway, I did some singing videos as well. I was pretending to sing Backstreet Boys with Lost Ark lyrics, all sorts of crazy stuff. But, these were like out of, I don't know, I was pissed off, I guess, that Amazon doesn't give us anything, no news at all. It was for years. And it just pissed me off. But anyway, this video took me, I don't know, 7 days with all of the cutting, with all of the recording, the perfect lights,
Wow.
everything had to be done in one day, obviously, because I look different from today than I look tomorrow. My hair gets oily. I don't know, my child spills some yogurt on me. So, it was quite stressful for my family also because I had to be like 6 to 7 hours just taking little shots and cutting it. You know how long it takes to cut out one of me completely from a scene and add myself to another scene with the other two
I
of
have no
me
idea
on a
how long.
on a shitty PC like I have. I mean, it's not a shitty PC. It's like 16 gigs RAM, a decent video card,
Mm-hmm.
but it takes like literally 4 hours for the process just of cutting the whole thing and then redoing bits. Because when I was sitting on the couch there with myself, I had a mic right next to me so I can actually have audio, and that mic is actually cut off, but every frame, like every little frame, had to be manually cut off the mic because it blended in with the color of the couch. So then I was
Oh
cutting out the
man.
couch also. Anyway, it was a lot of work just simply out
Jeez.
of passion and creativity. I thought it was funny. And I just did it for literally no views. I don't even know how many views that video has. What, 15K, 7K?
15,000.
Yeah, exactly. In this time creating this video, I could have recorded 7 other videos titled "Lost Ark is deplorable." This one item will make you quit the game, and all sorts of other, these kinds of
Sure.
that would get, tens of thousands. But it's important, I think, to at least occasionally have. If I would have more free time, if the kids would be, let's say, I don't know, out of the house, 20 years or plus, I would create one of these videos like literally every 2 weeks, because I enjoy doing these things. Yeah,
Really? Wow.
nothing. Yeah,
When was
yeah,
this?
no,
Like, how big was your channel during when you posted this?
no. My channel was really small for a very long period of time.
This was
I,
April
I
2021. So this is wow. Oh, this is actually exactly a year ago. Exactly a year
there you
ago.
go.
Yeah. If you
Yeah,
posted
it was
this
quite.
video now, though, like you would get way more views for sure.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 for sure. Yeah, I think,
Yeah.
yeah, well, I cannot post this video now because the topic of it
Yeah.
doesn't relate to the
Right. Right.
current. But yeah. Anyway, Canon, my kids are awake.
Okay. Yeah. Should we call this right now? Are you?
There's a
Yeah.
lot more to talk about. I would spend here another 2 hours at least.
Sure. I
But
don't
if
want to
I
keep.
do that,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Do you need to go now? I don't want to
well,
hold
I
you
guess.
from your responsibilities, because
Are you
we're
gonna
easy.
continue? Are you gonna continue streaming?
I am gonna continue streaming. I'm not gonna end stream here. I'm gonna continue
Okay,
streaming with my regular
perfect.
broadcast after this. So
Then just let's just you do that then.
okay, yeah, no problem, no problem. All right, well,
Maybe a
listen,
future episode. We can do another 2.5 hours.
yeah,
In the future, after you get more guests over, maybe we can do
yeah.
a reroll, rerun.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'd love to. I love that's what one of the great things about these podcasts is there's no set thing. We don't have to talk about, anything specific. So it's just free talk, But yeah, I will definitely take you up on that offer. I will shoot you a DM after the broadcast, and we'll figure out a date. Listen, Sywo, I really appreciate you for taking the time out of your very very busy schedule. I'm more appreciative
Actually,
now.
to be honest, the reason why I literally have no time these days is because I've taken up on myself sort of a secret project where
Ooh.
we're gonna have, let's say, a team of um, a small team of other myself and other content creators who are going to start writing guides for a very respectable website, like proper actual guides that are very helpful as
Sure.
we progress with the patches. Yeah, sort of like sort of like what Max Roll has done, right?
Sure.
Because Max Roll right now is let's say
Uh-huh.
the only resource that's being pushed out there as go there for the guides for the
Sure.
build. Someone contacted us from another website, and we're really busy with writing those. We're really far behind. We've missed a lot of key points. So because of that, it's just very complicated on top of everything.
Yeah.
That's why.
Well, that's fantastic. I have a feeling I know who it is. I do. I have a feeling I know who it is. Sywo, I wish nothing but the best for you and that project there. Let me know how it goes. Maybe we could chat about it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, seriously. I will if it's live, by the way, by the time this podcast goes up, please do shoot me a link and then I'll add it in the description below. And then yeah, I'll even add it to our Discord and everything that we need to do. But yes, I will. Thank you so much. I think like it's been a blast talking to you. I feel like I actually know you now. You know, just having this conversation.
It's nice.
With you.
You know, it's nice. You know, at the same time where you know each of us wants to do good for their own Twitch, for their own YouTube, for their own you know stuff. We push out titles. We want to be better than every other content creator. To do more information, or someone has missed something because it happens, you want to, you know, be the one who gets at the same time. I see no reason why we you know, why we cannot have, you know, chats with just normal people at the end of the day wanting to do a good job and get our own stuff going, and that's perfectly fine. There's space for everyone in Lost Ark and in the scene in general.
Absolutely.
But thank you, buddy. Very appreciate it.
Thank you, Sywo. I appreciate it. Anything else that you want to add to the end of the broadcast here before we go?
No, stay tuned. That's what I'm gonna say.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned. All right. So I'm gonna end this with one very important question, and it's just gonna fade to black here. Okay. This is it. This is the outro.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it. I'm ready. I'm hovering over the hang up button on this. Go.
Yep. All right. Here we go. Just answer and you can hang up. Okay.
Yeah.
Sywo, how much fish have you invested in?
I have invested 550 fish in Lost Ark, and out of those 550 fish, 350 were spent on rapport items from Mari's secret shop.
Sywo, you're a fucking legend, man. I love you, man. There he goes. There he goes. Oh my gosh. All right, guys. That's it.